It's 153.
Delete one forever. College football, men's college basketball, college baseball.
So you are on stream, but I know the quote retweet that you're about to say, which
Yeah.
is "fuck, Mary kill," Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, and then the H word.
Yeah. Could there not be something more accurate though?
No, it's 100%. When I saw college baseball was in there, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? How is this the one that you decided was like appropriate for this comparison? Like, how far up your own ass are you as like probably a Clemson fan that you think that baseball is relevant, college baseball is relevant in that conversation at all?
Yo.
It was like, God damn, dude, that's a level of delusion I wish I had.
Could you imagine though, just sitting there being like, "Oh, this is gonna do numbers," and everybody's like, "What?"
And they just and they crush you on the quote retweets, like absolutely demolish you. That's like everybody's worst fear is getting ratioed in the quotes.
True, that is a tough take.
Get these loaded up. Is there anything that we want to talk about tonight that's not related to call-ins, or do we just want to like save that for after?
I mean, basically, not like, really.
Let everybody say what they want.
Yeah, I know the format was dropped since we've last seriously talked.
Wait, what format?
Like the LTA, like
oh yeah,
schedulings and formats.
I mean, there's really not much to note there, right? Like we kind of knew.
It's just super short, way shorter than I thought it was gonna be.
Well, I mean,
split one.
That was kind of known with the format.
Yeah.
Not my fault you didn't think that one through.
Well,
they also did say that winter was going to be like extremely short. It is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So you did set yourself up for failure on that one.
Well, I was still surprised just how short it would be.
I think the one that's going to feel super bad is spring split. Whenever that like best of one schedule comes out, that one's going to feel like shit. But the rest will be fine. Did you watch any of the summoning insight with Papa Smithy? It was interesting. He diagnosed Busio's problems from MSI to Worlds. It was really interesting to learn.
What did he say they were?
Basically, like everybody was under the assumption that like Busio kind of crumbled mentally, or like that he just choked at that time. And Papa said no, he simply like when we played in the LCS, Busio was able to basically sit behind or sit in front of Inspired, and Inspired shot called. But the problem is when you get to the international stage, that strategy does not work. And every player has to have a level of intelligence to them to be able to compete and to be able to make their own decisions, especially when you get into engaged champions that like Inspired can't be the one telling you to go in. You need to know when to go in, the timings of everything there. And he said Busio just simply lacked the experience. He did not know what to do. And they took all of summer and then like boot camp and everything else prepping for Worlds to like teach him how to do it. And by the time they played on stage at Worlds, it was a lot better. So, take that for what you will, but
I mean, I didn't have like huge dreams of what Busio is going to do at that MSI, but I mean, he got a lot better, so hopefully he's happy with that.
I mean, it could have gotten worse from MSI, if we're being honest, because MSI was really bad for him.
Yeah. And I wasn't sitting there going like, oh man, he's about to crush it. You know what I mean? I wasn't hating, but I was also just like, this will be what it is. I mean,
Yep.
hopefully he doesn't get destroyed.
Yep. Somebody, Con had a hilarious comment in my YouTube video today. What'd he say? I basically like sat on a chair, like like one of those folding chairs that kind of like has like kind of like a, I don't know, I can turn my camera, like that chair in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat on that for the video. And Khan was like, I imagine Paul approves of this type of chair. And this, or no, I imagine Paul approves of this type of chair the content is seeing.
Oh my gosh.
I also ratted us out at work today.
About what?
Well, we were talking about like random, I forget what we were talking about. Basically, it led into like the running joke of like, I explained how like your job is like, what you do. I don't want to say it. I think we talked about it on stream, but I just don't want to say it. But I explained like what you do and how like you travel. I said the running joke is every time he gets to a hotel, he shows us the couch or chair.
Yo.
We rate it on a scale like 1 to 10, like whether it's good, like how good it is relative to the others. They're like, y'all are weird, aren't you? I was like, no, it's a fair thing to ask. It's a fair thing to assess when you're looking at this. Like some of them are actually pretty elegant. Some of them, they've seen some shit. Like,
dude, this isn't a chair or a cuck chair, but the desk chair this room has, and this is a decent hotel I got.
Wow,
it's broken back.
Yeah, I can tell. It's like really,
back.
You can see it in the lumbar.
I can't, like, I tried everything, dude. I had that thing. I was holding it and sitting there just like yanking on it, pulling up as hard as I could. And it finally started to go like, and I went, okay, whatever, it's broken.
Yeah,
this isn't happening.
Screwed. But it's funny. I explained that and they just looked at me like, huh? I was like, well, that's the things you do when you're on the road. It's the only thing you can talk about. I don't know. Zero that or sports. Take your pick. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, lately I've been just watching a lot of Rick and Morty.
Oh, what season you on?
I jumped in at 5. I'm gonna have to go back. Like I've already watched Rick and Morty before.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm not like, I just jumped right back in at 5 because I like that season. But I need to go back because last night I left it running while I fell asleep.
So it jumped all the way up to like.
So it's
7.
all the way to like season 7. I woke up to like in the middle of the night. I woke up and if they were. It had me laughing so hard. I woke up and they were fighting Jesus.
Yeah.
But I went to bed and they were taking that one cool kid through. I forget his name, but the cool kid.
Oh yeah, taking him through space. Yep.
Yeah, the Transformers episode.
Yeah, and he turns out to like not be cool in the end.
Yeah, and I wake up and they're fighting Jesus, and I was like, "This show's so good."
Rick and Morty legitimately is like probably my favorite still ongoing TV show at the moment.
It's an absurd TV show. I mean,
oh man. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crossover Podcast. I'm David. This is Paul. For the final episode of the year, we're doing a call-in special. I will link the Discord in the chat right now. All you got to do is hop in the lounge and we will drag you in. And we're going to get to everybody. If anybody is in the lounge, we will make sure we get through to your take. The more people that are in there, obviously, the less time we will have to really pull you onto the show and kind of go from there. But we will make sure we get everybody. The thing that I will caveat before all of this is that especially given last week, if anybody comes in here wanting to talk drama, talk anything else like that, unless you have substantiated claims, stuff like that, we ain't going to be talking about it. Simple as that. Lesson learned from last week. Don't read on chat and just go with pure hypotheticals for that long. So, Yeah, I thought we apparently did not do a good enough job distinguishing that. Noted. We'll make sure it's corrected going forward. You live and you learn.
Yeah, well, I won't say what I think
Yeah, I know you won't.
for fear of more more people coming in and letting us know we're the baddies,
Yeah, but
which is what it is.
it is what it is. But I would encourage anybody, hop in the lounge chat if you want to call into the show. If you have any take around LoL esports, League of Legends, you name it. It can be as absurd as you want, as long as it's about League. You can come in and talk, and you have the chance to. So I don't want to hear anybody ever saying that, like, oh, these certain things are not talked about, not discussed, like not mentioned. It's your chance to come in and talk about it. No holds bars. Don't be a pussy.
Pretty sure Nox just joined for his normal night of lounging.
Nox is in chat, so I don't think so.
I was joking. I was joking.
So,
are we just dragging them in order?
well, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to discuss before we go into it?
No, not for me really.
All right, easy enough. Let me
Unless
swap.
you have something.
Nope, I'm good. I need to swap over the thing to 3 people, and I'm gonna drag Nox in here. Look who it is.
Howdy.
What do you want to talk about, brother? For those that don't know, this is Nox, by the way.
Howdy. Let's talk about how after rewatching Arcane, season 2 is actually just average. Like, it's not good.
Oh.
First 3 episodes, fantastic. Next 4, utterly horrible. If you're watching them for the story, take out animation's great. We're not hating on the animation. The actual story, if you don't know League of Legends, is one of the worst, I think, coherent stories you could watch.
I think
They tried too much, and then they tried to do too much. They had, then their big bad character, and just completely ignored all the issues was on. They're now all friends, and unfortunately, because we're probably not getting season 3, we'll never see the actual result of that. Great for world setup, so they can spread out, but yeah, the ending just missed.
I personally, in hindsight, did not care for how much precedent the Victor storyline took. I don't think the show was really set up for that. I feel like the show was more like the entire season 1 was about building, Jinx and Vi. And we get like people can say like, oh, but you named it Arcane, and it was always about like the story of Arcane. It's like not really. Like the story in the first season was very much about like the struggle between Piltover and Zaun. That was it. So the Victor story kind of really felt like it took away from it and rushed a lot. I agree. I will disagree on the assessment after episode 3 because I still think episode 5 is my favorite from the entire season. That was the only one that like really slowed down in my mind. That and episode 7. I think episode 5 and episode 7 or as like independent episodes were fantastic. But I'll agree with you on the story point.
Right. And they completely just glossed over Vi and Jinx hating each other, blaming each other. Never mind, our dad is actually alive and we're just believing it right away. Never mind all of the anger and the people you killed. It's fine. We only just tried to kill each other like 2 days ago. That's, again, overall as a series, it was good. Just, man, they did everything they wanted to, and it does not tie in. And other shows can do that if your ending works.
Can we agree
one of
that
I think the most famous things of that is in it's an older anime, Code Geass.
I have watched no
Pizza
anime.
Hut sponsored a whole episode of it.
Huh?
Yeah. So Pizza Hut sponsored a whole episode that they just put in the middle of it that nobody remembers because of the ending. In this case, I think, like you said, they just kind of forced an ending with Jace and Victor.
Can we agree that the music was better in season 2 than season 1?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It actually made me like French people.
Oh my goodness.
After I took the pot shot
Oh
at
my.
France earlier, really? I'm gonna make that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, at the end of my video, I said New York is better than Paris. I ended it on that note. Or I think I specifically said New York is a better Paris.
Oh
just-
God. Okay.
Oh, man.
Hard cut ended it right on that.
Man.
What do
Yeah,
you think, Paul?
I really think season 2 was not as good as season 1. I know it got better reviews, but I still think that's because more of the player-based games were left this
Your
season.
internet is
than
cutting
the
out.
casuals.
Your internet's cutting out pretty bad right now.
Let
Unfortunately.
me figure something out.
Is Paul downloading porn?
There, is it any better?
Little bit.
Nah, you're still a little robot-y at the
Oh, no.
moment.
What?
Now his video's not even loading. Just a bad night for Paul.
Apparently.
What you get for cheaping out the hotels? You know, you gotta go to the Hilton.
Yeah. Embassy Suites.
You know, really treat yourself. 4 seasons.
Yeah.
But
No, I think I agree with you though for the most part. Hey, Con, thank you for resubbing for 14 months.
yeah, and I think too, what really made me watch it was all the hate he got for not winning. What award was that?
The Game Awards.
Yeah, and people just freaking out. It was like, if it was season 1, I think it would have won. But yeah, season
Well, season 1 did win. Simple as that.
right, it would have. You know, if it was that good of a story in writing, I think it would have cleared.
Yeah,
But without that,
I think that's fair.
so you know, we got to start strong. Nothing too extreme, but at least a mildly hot take that I think.
I don't
the
know if that's
average League of
that.
Legends
I don't know
fan-
if it's that hot. I see that take on Twitter all the time. But the Jinx and Victor or Jinx and Jay's profile pictures are very argumentative.
Yeah, but what did you think actually on the Jinx Vi? Like, just we're not enemies anymore. Do you think that was too soon, too quick?
Paul, what do you think?
Is it even working?
No, you're still a little bit of a robot, unfortunately.
Dude, how is it so bad?
I did not know. I would say it. I think the scene that makes me question a lot now, in hindsight, weirdly enough, is the sex scene, where it just feels like your sister just mentioned that she is gonna try and commit suicide and like clearly like end the cycle, and you made sure you got your girl off first before you went and talked to your sister. Like that was priority, which I respect. Fine, you want to chase the kitty, go right ahead. But like, it felt a little rushed at that point. Yeah,
Alright, is it any better?
yeah, it's better.
Hey,
Vocally, it's
welcome
better.
back.
Okay, I can't. I have to use my mobile data, so I can't
No
show
video.
my face.
That's fine. I'll be the only
Because I
video.
don't want to just crush it. But no, I thought season 2 was worse anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I agree with the take, so I'm not really gonna add too much to this anyways. So me spending most of my time just fighting with my internet really isn't the end of the world.
Darn, I thought you were about to be a diehard season 2 fan. Just
No,
got so angry.
I've been I don't know. Season 2 animation I thought was really good. Music was good. I think the story was obviously rushed. I thought a lot of what was carrying those ratings of everybody constantly giving it every episode got above a 9 was because the only people left in season 2s are usually people who liked the first one a lot and then still want to stick around. And I think a lot of the casuals were gone by that point. Maybe I'm wrong and there were more casuals than I think, but I think mainly the casuals were gone at that point.
If not by then, I think by the time Black Rose showed up, they
Yeah.
were like, "What the hell is happening here?"
I think they did a piss poor job with the Black Rose specifically.
It wasn't needed. It
No.
wasn't needed. Just have her fight her mom and embrace her power that way.
Yeah.
would have been just fine.
Or like
But-
discover her power like fully there.
Yeah, like would have solved at least one of the many plot holes.
Although
The whole Victor arc was brutal.
yeah, that unfortunately I don't think
But compared
aged
to-
well.
No, but compared to season 1, at least, Jace finally, had a good backstory of why he's going crazy.
I mean, I enjoyed Jace's character in season 1. Like
I thought-
I know a lot of people didn't, but like I'm like man who comes of power and like the struggles that kind of come with like being right on the verge of technological advances and like also ascending to power and knowing that other people are using you as well. It's a tough balance.
But shout out to Heimerdinger. He was the real one. He realized the story was going nowhere. He's like, peace out.
It's like I'm gonna learn to play banjo.
Yep. So, but yeah, no, that's my take for now.
All right.
We'll do a shout out real quick.
Mhm.
As majority of people of David's server, shout out C9, the greatest team. Go for number 1, and eventually David will become a fan of C9 New York. It's okay.
That's under the assumption that they do something for New York, but we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see.
bar's low.
Yeah, very true. Bars in the gutter. So
Yeah.
we can
Build
get
the bar.
I mean, at this point, you're on a good path for C9 to be one of the few ones holding out. They're one of the
Hey.
only ones financially,
there. Yep.
Let's
other
go.
than TL.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
All right.
have a good one, guys.
You too. Again, a reminder for anybody that wants to call into this particular episode, be sure to join the general lounge chat in our Discord, which I will again put in chat. You could come in with your take. We just had an arcane one, and we're about to see Baz was second. We're gonna see what Bazball is up to. What up? What up?
Hello there.
How we doing?
I'm doing fine tonight.
What you got for us?
So I have 2 different takes. My first take is I believe Lion Gaming is going to, in their first year, be one of the representatives for the LTA at Worlds. And then my second take is that college esports can still be a future for esports entirely.
Paul, I'll let you go first on this one.
So, what was your Lion Gaming one again?
They're
What
going
you
to
exactly
Worlds.
said?
That line's going to Worlds, basically.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not a big Lion fan. I'm not gonna say I support that one. Now, college still being a future, I like where you're going there. I
Mhm.
think college should. I mean, realistically, Dave and I are pretty biased in this opinion, or at least we've been supporting college long enough that, or saying that we would, that college should be the future. And if Riot realized how American culture worked, you feed through college.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how sports here works. But instead, they've done it the hard way and they've tried to build their own tier 2 scene, and it's never ever really become too profitable for them. But Lion Gaming, I just
That's
What do you see in
That's what? Yeah, give me anything because that's like I don't know how much crystal meth you smoked prior to this episode, but like it had to have been a lot.
Okay. From my point of view, so I have all the teams pulled up right now, and I'm gonna go through each one of them and explain my reasoning. So first things first, Dignitas. No offense, throwaway roster. They're not doing much this year.
Fair.
Then you go to Shopify. They have some nice pieces, but I think Palafox already showed decline.
Sure.
We don't know how Fudge is gonna look.
Decent.
And I think eventually Bovie is going to get exposed eventually.
Calling him
so-
Bovie is a bold play there.
I'm saying it as I see it. Dignitas is Tomio, Isles. It's a bunch of rookies, or it's a bunch of people that are unproven. So you got like Isles is not great. Let's be honest.
Let me redirect you here. Tell me why they beat out either. Like, I'll even exclude 100 Thieves because I know the logic that you're gonna say there. Tell me how they beat out either of either of Team Liquid or FlyQuest. Because don't forget, it's only top 2 that go from the north.
I think that FlyQuest is going to regress this year.
You realize a regression for them at worst would probably be 4th.
I would still arguably say that I think that Bwipo is. I don't like Bwipo's play style in how. I just don't. I don't know the best wording for it. I think Bwipo was the issue at Worlds when they were playing, and I think his mental is going to basically get boomed this year.
I'll agree with you on like the mental part. I could see, sure, like because anybody can mental boom, and that's just like a shot in the dark that it will. But like, I literally, what's funny is I literally just rewatched the FlyQuest Gen G series. There's no way that you can tell me that Bwipo was fucking trolling.
I don't think he was trolling, but I definitely don't think he was helping.
Brother, go rewatch Game 4. Go rewatch Game 1. If you think that he's not making plays that are winning them games and like flashing over Jinx ults to make sure that Pays is not getting resets to clean up fights, bro, you're trolling.
I'm not troll. You can win games and still also lose your team games.
Licorice, like even if he drops off though, Licorice is not better than him.
I'm not saying Licorice is better than him, but I think
you
Licorice
have to, though.
can be.
I do think the Bwipo can get in his own head and lose you a series.
Sure.
Or at least games in the series, which, I mean, he did for them in the same Gen G series. I mean, for every good game he had a game where he was he had more games where he was terrible. I mean, Game 5 was literally just him getting caught out on repeat.
Yeah, but I'd rather have a guy that can win me games and lose me games than a guy that can never win me one at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
My counter argument to that is completely the whole entire team of Vitality. Vitality, you are the bot lane is win or lose. If you Helisank and Karzi, they can either win you a whole series or they can lose you a whole series. And look how bad Vitality has been.
Sure, there's a coin flip element to it, but let me ask you this: who's your bot lane?
I believe it's Henya and Lions is the current rumor.
Who the fuck is that? Like
one of the
compared to Masu and Busio? What?
One of them is the old FearX bot laner, and then it's the support from the R7.
I just watched Masu bitch slap Pays. I'm not worried about fucking FearX's former ADC.
I'm high. I was high on FearX last year. I thought that their bot lane was their one shining point.
So
of the team.
Who are they supposed to knock out? Just Fly, and you think TL makes it?
I also think it's C9 Lions, in my opinion. Make it
brother. What's this name? Tell me the strand name.
What?
Tell me the strand name. What's the name of the strand that you're smoking?
I'm not taking
generational.
Let me see. We got some Walgreens brand daytime Dayquil.
So you're making bootleg lean. That explains it. That's fine. Okay, like I get it now. There's rational logic now behind this take. I can get it. That's fine.
So C9 and Lions are your two world teams?
Yeah, yep, C9 and Lions are my two world teams.
Please tell me you're
That's
trolling
awful.
for the take. Please tell me you're trolling for the take.
Okay, I'm not trolling on the C9.
Okay, I figured you were trolling at least a little bit for Lion.
I'm trolling a little bit on the Lion's take, but I do think there's
C9
a world where they fight.
Like I will respect C9's take because I could see a world where they do it. If obviously, Thanatos ends up working out.
Wait, do you think C9 gets in with the 1 seed?
I think C9 makes it at the 1 seed, and then I think it's Lion versus FlyQuest for the last seed. Like if, in my ideal world,
And TL's just nowhere there.
I think TL goes 4th.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Look, I don't know what to say other than I have no logic that I could possibly try and follow to get there, except for going to the guy out on the corner of the street right now and asking to borrow some of his shit. Like that's the only thing I can think of.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta have the crazy takes, man. You for the longest time said FlyQuest was gonna regress in summer,
Because
and they
there's
won.
precedent. There's precedent for teams falling off after MSI. There is no precedent for a team of Lion caliber to make it to Worlds.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
No,
that
but
you can't
anything you
predict
say after the but is irrelevant. You said yeah, and then but, and then tried to walk it back, but you just admitted yeah.
You can.
I mean,
I'm
they're
just
tumblers.
saying. I think there's gonna be some voodoo magic that comes up, and somehow Lions just is gonna perform unimaginably well, and because it's the first season of the LTA, you gotta have something crazy go on.
Oh dear.
But I have more faith in Loud making it to Worlds than I do Lion.
I mean, yes, but that's from they're
But
gonna be in the South.
okay, you realize that like we have to beat them, right? If your
I know they're
assumption
gonna
is
have
that Cloud9 makes it, Cloud9's the 1 seed, you'd have to beat Loud to get there.
Yes, but I think Loud loses the Lion easy.
Brother, I think they're 2 peas of a pod when it comes to
I
most
don't-
of the South teams and Lion. Like
I don't. I would have more faith in Vodo Key making it than Loud.
I mean, I don't have faith in any Southern team making it over a Northern team after or barring their 1 guaranteed slot, but that's just me.
I mean, I like Estral. I like the Iris Estral team with Jose Dioto in it.
Sure, but I've seen Jose Dioto come in what, 3rd at best for North America or 2nd? What did he finish? 2nd, I think.
I don't remember.
No, I don't think because that was the Santorin FlyQuest roster that finished 2nd. Jose Dioto never made it to Worlds. I don't think. Or
Yeah,
did he?
No,
Did he? No, he
I
might have.
mean, he made it to Worlds in 2020 back in the Art 7 days.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But besides that, yep, that's my take.
I appreciate the balls that it takes to publicly say that and tie your name to it. So all power to
Listen,
you.
okay, I was the one that had the fly take quest way back in the day, where if they had won Worlds, it would have been bad for North America.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I will say the crazy stuff.
I'll give you that, and it makes the calls more entertaining. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Paul, you got any final words on this one?
No, I mean I feel like we broke it down enough.
Look, I appreciate the craziness more than anything. I do.
Hey, no problem. I'm here for the entertainment.
Oh God, thank you, Baswell. Anything you want to shout out, brother?
I'll shout out. I'll just shout out my league that I play in college, the ECAC league. I play TFT, sometimes Valorant.
Interesting.
So,
All right.
yep.
No league?
Huh?
No league? Just TFT and Valorant?
Nah, my team doesn't have enough players to make a league team, unfortunately.
Well, that's a depressing damnation of the college point that was previously brought up. But
We used to. It's just a case of we had one toxic player and every other player didn't want to continue playing afterwards.
nobody had the balls to tell him to just fucking leave for the sake of everybody else.
He was the carry. He was the carry, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for having me on.
No problem. You have a great night.
Yep.
Paul, what the fuck just happened? Oh my god.
At least he admitted that it was kind of a joke at the end.
That's fair. Again, for the general chat, if you guys want to hop in, if you want to have a take, Discord is in the chat. Hop in the lounge. We'll pull you in order. There's nothing off limits. But I think it's I think up next was Khan, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he was in. Khan, before we do anything else, did Rachel win? Yes or no?
Yes.
the whole thing?
Yeah, she won the whole thing. Yeah.
Now, did she was she stuck in the fire making challenge, or did she win individual immunity?
She was not. She won individual there.
Oh, of course she wins individual immunity. Okay, nice.
I will say it was a lot more back and forth in final tribal. Sam ended up being second place.
Ooh.
He threw a lot of fire on things, and I get that. I think the show did a good job trying to make the obvious win a lot less obvious.
What was the final vote count?
It was still 6-1. It was still 7-1. So it's still like a
Oh,
blowout vote. But
Jesus.
like they edited it in a way where you could see the art. Like you could feel kind of like I can see it swinging another way potentially.
Dang, I've been fed nothing but Rachel TikToks for a week and a half now. I've been like, I don't even watch the show, but I've known every single thing that she's done, like starting from like the rice in the pockets thing. Like from that moment on, everybody just started spamming Rachel edits and everything else on TikTok. So I've been following Survivor pretty closely now.
No, yeah, no. I do think, and I'll in my own little videos that I'll make, I do think she falls into an interesting tier of winners of like, she kind of had the luck go her way, and she was more the physical winner type individual. Still deserving of a win all fully, but I do think the sentiment of like she's like a top tier winner. I don't know if I agree fully with that.
Would you
but-
say best of like the current generation of Survivor?
No, no. I wouldn't even have her top 3 in what they call the new era, like
Okay.
the
Because that was the take that I've seen from most people. It's like this is the best season and she's the best player in the new era.
I don't think that way, because I mean the thing about Rachel compared to other players, like she got blindsided on a lot of votes. There was a lot of times where like for instance, there was like 2 cases this season where she was going to be the vote out, but she was basically gifted an advantage that kept her safe. Where I do think some of the winners in this new era that we've had, I can think of 3 off the bat that were like actually good player, like were. I don't say Rachel wasn't actually a good player. We're like phenomenal players that never were really a threat and were just so good socially, but also strategically. They're always on top of the game per se. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I just wanted to ask. Paul, we're talking about Survivor in case you didn't know.
No, I know.
All right. So, what's your take, Con? What do you got for me? What do you got that Travis would never allow on the show?
I don't know if you'd ever allow this on the show or not, but this is a take that was hinted in the Discord a little while ago by me.
Oh boy.
I think C9 fans are going to be tasting a whole lot of humble fudge this year, and they're going to regret giving him away, and Fudge will once again go back to be the top North American top laner in the league. And we will see easily, go back, and I don't know if I'll say like SR is going to be, I'm not going to be like Baz here and say like, oh, they're going to be top 2. But I think SR has a real good shot of, I think, Palafox, depending, beating out C9. And I think in those matchups where it's Fudge versus Thanatos, I fully expect to see some Fudge domination in lane.
Ooh.
And I think if you look at like the stats of like the spring and summer, Thanatos has some better stats, but like overall, Fudge was the one that had like a little bit higher KDA. He was able to get a little bit more gold value like in lane and stuff. One thing I look at, Fudge versus Sniper in the playoffs. This is a 100 Thieves fan.
Yeah.
He basically shoved some whatever he wanted down Sniper's throat. Where like Sniper kind of did that to Thanatos. So
Gave him the old hawk tool.
yeah, well, something like that.
I mean, look, I'm with you. At the end of the day, I think C9 fans mistreated the shit out of Fudge. Not saying the Fudge didn't deserve it at points, because by all means, he had an attitude to him. In a good way, but also in a bad way. Like, in a good way in the sense of, like, he was a great antagonist for me, because it made it so easy for me to hate him. But if he can go to Shopify and, like, basically have this kind of revenge arc, then I'm down for it. Because, like, you're no longer on the team that, in his words, was our only ever hope at Worlds. So you don't have that going for you. If you have a shift in perspective from what was clearly, sour relations towards the end with C9, like, I hope he does well. I would like to see C9 fans have to eat their words, because they gave him shit from the moment that he got put in back in 2021. Like they have been hating him for a long period of time. So it'd be cool to see them get knocked out by Fudge. I agree. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't know if I fully have faith in everybody else on Shopify to level up to the point where they need to be to beat C9, but we'll see.
Did Sniper actually beat up on Thanatos that hard?
In lane, no, but in team fights, yeah. Sniper beat the shit out of him.
I mean, I don't really blame Thanatos for those. I thought that was JoJo just playing really, really bad.
Nah, in that 3-0 100 Thieves over C9, it like Thanatos would call. I don't think Thanatos ended a game where he was down CS against Sniper, but obviously it made no fucking difference at all because like the team just got steamrolled.
Yeah, I don't really overtly blame Thanatos for that, but I mean, I get the sentiment that Fudge has gotten a lot of tough stuff for him over the years. And I mean, I've never really cared for his systems, but I guess C9 fans don't really defend him too hard. The only one I really know who defended him hard was Blue.
Yeah.
Nobody else really ever like defended Fudge, so I kind of get what you guys mean. Like, it would kind of be tough for C9 fans to see him succeed. Unfortunately, I just think that team is too heavy. I don't know. I mean, they would have to really play up above their level.
Could they do it? Maybe, but
I mean, we say above their level, but what their roster. I mean, the big thing is Palafox. If Palafox can get, and I don't think I love this per se, but if he can get kind of back to where he was the year before, I mean, contracts even last year showed decent jungling overall. You know, B-Boy was always touted as like one of the best laning AD carries just on a team full of like, you know, Luminosity players.
was that okay? B-Boy's first All-Pro, was that spring or summer? That was spring, right?
I think it might have been spring.
Because if my memory serves correct, B-Boy had a pretty hard fall off in summer.
Well,
I don't know if anybody
didn't
can confirm.
B-Boy not play much in spring?
No, he played all the games, didn't he? He came in like 3 or 4 games late due to like visa issue or something like that, I think.
Yeah,
But
he came in the middle. He kind of surprised people, and then people figured him out.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm personally not bullish on B-Boy. I don't.
I'm just saying, B-Boy and Sven doesn't exactly strike me as two mildly different in skill level bot lanes.
I think Sven's role is going to be different though than B-Boy. I think there's an expectation for B-Boy to carry a little bit more, but maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, wouldn't you say these makeup rosters are kind of similar? In fact, like, I don't think the C9 mid laner coming in is going to be expected to carry that much. It's going to kind of still be on top jungle both ways.
I personally think I actually do think it's going to be on the way like they're talking, the way Blabber's talking, especially after that boot camp. It does sound like they're going to be playing through mid top, and Blabber is going to facilitate more. I mean, obviously that can change with the meta, but it sounds like it is a like, you know, set the pins up to let the two of them knock it down. So I don't know.
But no, I just that's my I just think, you know, C9 fans for years, whether it's at Worlds or anywhere, they just love blaming Fudge because like every other Western top laner we get our butts scapped.
Sure. I will say this.
And
I don't like a player being introduced by a fucking JPEG.
No.
Sets the tone sets the tone real low. Real low.
If we want to start like actually just roasting this whole league and teams, to give me the signal because I have, you know.
We got 2 more people in calls that I want to make sure I get to, especially if they bring it up. If they don't, then I will open everything. Like I'm just gonna open the floodgates at the very end, and we'll have like 10 minutes free for all with everybody, like full normal lounge chat.
Oh boy, good luck. But yeah, no, definitely gonna hang out and lounge for a bit. Hopefully, get more people coming with these takes too. And I told Paul yesterday you should have got like Travis glasses on so you could,
No.
if you're gonna act like Hotline League. I mean, Baz was trying to be Hotline League here with that last take. Like,
Hotline League calls
Sure.
are fairly tame. Even Travis in recent shows has been like telling people like, please call if you got a disagreeing opinion, call in with shit. It's like the takes have been very tame, I think, as of late. I don't think there's been anything that I just sit there and is like, oh, this dude's fucking psychotic. Like,
I figured they didn't want me going in with Arcane co-creator and being negative like that, but I was ready to go in there and be like, yo, how you fuck this up?
I didn't watch that episode at all. I'm not gonna lie, like I haven't watched much Arcane, like behind the scenes Arcane take. So
I didn't watch too much of it either. I watched one little thing to see if there was a response, but there really wasn't much of like I didn't. You weren't gonna get anything publicly because Riot's never gonna allow any of their people on somewhere to be like, oh yeah, no, we messed up, or oh no, that was Rush, or oh no, like this is how it actually worked. Like they're not gonna do that publicly, especially not on a Travis show.
no, that's where like the Necrit podcast is probably gonna be the closest you'll get to it. But even then, like that's they got 20 other things that they'll talk about. You won't see. I would love to see. Hey, Mark Merrill, if you're free, let's talk. Let's talk. Why not? Fuck it. What do you got to lose? Nothing. Why not?
Maybe your face being farted on, but
That's fine. I'll take the pink eye. I can handle it. I'll sleep on the couch for a bit.
Well, I will see you guys later and let somebody else come in here.
Con.
What do you mean? I want to be.
What, Paul?
You had to go that far back?
With what?
Hey, he's Mark Merrill. That's his legacy.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Whatever. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
All right, we'll bring in the next take. Any shout outs you want to give?
Not really. No. Just keep following David's content if you find this. He's doing a great job with the league. He had a really great video in a certain type of chair, Paul might like here, talking about it, his NA keeping him down and stuff like that.
Alright. Now we're glazing.
Hey, go watch Khan's content as well. I'll link his
God.
I'll link his channel. Yeah, hey, we're just it's nothing but glazed donuts in this room, okay?
Oh,
Apparently.
Oh man. All right, I'll catch you later, Khan.
catch you later.
All right, we got one more take currently sitting in the lounge chat. If you again are listening to the show and want to call in, want to have any take on League of Legends, hop into Discord, hop in general. We'll drag you in, or hop in the lounge. We'll drag you in. But for now, we got Mechatronic.
Hello, folks.
What up? What up? How's your Wednesday?
It's good. I'm turning my camera on. I gotta.
Oh, inverted.
Oh, that's the wrong camera. Oh lord. This doesn't fit with my video quality standards.
Oh, what kind of camera are you using?
I love how I go
Pause.
from the flipped upside down camera. So okay. I got some explaining to do. Okay, let me move it Discord. Okay, this camera that sits here is the camera you just saw. It's for Magic the Gathering, so it's flipped. So when I point it down, it sees Magic.
Yeah.
This is a real camera.
What kind?
It's a Panasonic G7.
Okay.
It's my secondary camera.
Because that quality is nuts, and you can tell right away.
It sits behind a shout out to the sponsor Elgato prompter.
Hey, there we go.
As I am being lit with Elgato lights with my Elgato microphone arm.
Hey, we love our sponsors around here.
Okay. Can I shill for a second for
Go
Elgato
ahead.
Okay. I bought so many lights and so many arms and had to rebuy them 3 times, and I just ended up buying Elgato the last time I did it, and I have yet to rebuy a single thing.
We love to hear it.
That's all I need to say on the moment. Okay. I have 2 takes. I have a.
The Chargers are not going to the Super Bowl before you ask.
No, I was gonna bring up some Chargers takes, but I chose not to. I understand they're not going to Super Bowl. I've come to grips with that. I actually fully expect us to lose Thursday Night Football. That's its own matter. My esports related take: Scary Jerry will be a top 4 AD carry by the end of the year.
I don't.
So-
I don't think Paul and I know enough about Scary
So
Jerry.
I'm
you
gonna
would
give
need
some
to-
background. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give some background here on me. I cast Collegiate League of Legends.
Oh shit.
I've been casting the Unified League,
Okay.
which is where Grandview University, Purdue Northwest, there's another big school that I can't think of, Drury, a couple of the like teams who made top 32 last year and went a couple rounds deep into CLOL come from. I watched Scary Jerry. He's very good. He's really, really good. And I think this disguise team is going to do better than most people expect.
If you had to compare him to like Masu, because like last year coming into this, I like Masu was hyped up to be like one of these guys that was going to be like a not a full prodigal talent. Like I think like Jojo Pion's like the only one that has kind of like fit that description in the last
Yeah.
like 5 years, but he was supposed to be like good, and he's turned out to be so much more than that
Yeah.
in his first year. Like if you had to compare it to like expectations for Masu last year, where would you put him? Especially given that he's coming into a much worse roster on
Yeah,
paper
so
than Masu was on FlyQuest.
Yeah, I think the expectations were higher for Masu. I think Masu was a more hyped prospect. Not that Scary Jerry isn't hyped. I don't think he's being hyped everywhere with everyone, but like, I know like I casted with Yanni this last season. I know Yanni speaks really highly of him. I really like Scary Jerry, but I also think that he's being put into a less stressful situation, and I feel that with Toast having one shot in the league, this is the one season right before he's got to do promo relegation. There's one of two paths here. Either he's going to take these young players and say, we're going to do the best with what we can with these guys and try and build them up over the year, or he's going to be insanely aggressive and make roster moves every 2 weeks. I have a feeling it's not going to be the latter.
No, they ain't got the money to do that.
They don't have the money to do that. And Fiflaren's running that division, and Fiflaren was on the old NIP Counter-Strike teams where they did not switch players except for the Opper when they were on their insanely long run at the beginning of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I don't expect them to do it any big roster moves. I think Jerry will just get continuously better as the season goes on. And on top of that, he's playing with Huhi, who I deem the AD carry whisperer. I think that basically every AD carry that plays with Huhi is just a better version of themselves. You can see with FBI that the second that he and Huhi split originally, FBI kind of was a worse player than he was before, and Huhi went to a team and was great.
Yeah.
So I think that Jerry's being put in a very good situation, specifically in lane, and I also think that the quality of AD carries this year is shit.
I will say on the Huhi point,
Yeah.
the ADCs that he's played with have not like if you want to include FBI as a rookie back in like 2020 on the Golden Guardians roster, fine.
I wasn't. I was
But,
including from 100 Thieves on.
Because that like we're talking like who he's playing partners in terms of like ADC Whisper were a veteran FBI by the time 2021 hits, a veteran Stixay on Golden Guardians, back to FBI.
Yeah,
We have not seen him develop a rookie. And like
I agree with that.
That's the only part that I worry about it in terms of him. It's not that I don't trust who he's shot calling. We've seen the highs that he's had. But
full faith in that. No, I'm more looking at like the rest of the AD carries in this league are underwhelming at best. I'm not sure how highly I rate Tomo anymore. He got very exposed to Worlds.
Agreed.
I don't know how highly I rate Sven today.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know how highly I rate FBI anymore.
Fair. I watched him get caught out multiple times in that show match.
We're left with B-Voy, who you guys just had a great conversation about, but I don't have a huge amount of faith in anymore. And Henna, who's coming from, I think it's like Damwon Challengers, DK Challengers or something like that. Or maybe he's Hanwha Challengers and Saints the other one. But one of them's coming from Hanwha, one of them's coming from Damwon. And if you go look at the actual Games of Legends stats for Henna, I am not filled with confidence. So that leads me to believe that Masu and Yan are the two best AD carries in the league, which I could have told you before I even started this conversation. And then there's a fight for third place.
Paul?
Okay. I mean, I think when you broke it down, you started to convince me a lot. The ADCs, I'm thinking of them all, and I was like, I thought
No.
ADCs are a good position for us. But
That's
then
the
when you
problem.
start going
It-
through the list, it does get bad very quick.
That's the problem. Is I was thinking about this take, and my take was just going to originally be like Disguise is going to make playoffs by the second split, and I think that's a little too pedestrian. So I decided to go a little further in, but especially because playoffs is top 6.
Yeah.
And I started looking at 80 carries. Oh my god, they're bad this split.
Is it okay, but is it worse than support? Because support last year was like the role that we all questioned.
Support last year or support this year? Because
Support this year.
I actually think support this year is better.
Who's top 4?
Okay.
Core JJ 1. We all can unanimously.
Core and Huhi, I'm putting up in the top 4. I'm not going any order.
Fair.
Um,
I'm just counting.
I wouldn't begin to explain how this ordering works in my head. So Core, Huhi, Usio, and I actually think Seos was really good in CB LOL. We saw him play internationally well a bunch.
Yeah.
I think that he's good. I just think he's going to kind of be brought down by the fact that he's playing with B-Boy. And for what it's worth, I have done the Googling on this. B-Boy and Seos never played together while they were in Brazil. They always played on other teams.
Interesting. Con, he said no particular order. He's just saying like top.
Yeah, I'm not saying no
or-
particular. I'm not.
We all
getting
agree.
into
We all agree.
ranking
Core
anyone.
JJ 1. I think that's like
Yeah.
unanimous. And then like
I'm a
wherever
Liquid
you want to
fan,
put it.
and I'll say that. But past that point, I'm not willing to put a number on anyone.
I think I would go.
And I actually think Vulcan's up there too. We didn't say
Yeah,
Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Like, he could-
I don't know. Vulcan's
depends
burn
on the
us.
It depends
Vulcan
on the
with
split he
Sven
has.
worries me.
No, Vulcan with Sven actually worries me less than Vulcan with other AD carries. Because Vulcan and Sven played together for a bit.
Yeah, that was the last time they were both good.
I mean,
I'm just
Sven-
worried that
how-
neither of them are talented enough now to make it work.
I mean, yeah.
But
I don't
at
know
the
how
end
to
of the
feel
day,
about
they're
Sven
stuck
to
with it.
begin
There's
with.
nothing better,
That's the thing.
really.
Yeah,
This is the conversation I've had around like 100 Thieves and Ayla with like everybody flaming the shit out of Ayla. It's like, okay,
No.
give me who you would replace him with. And
the
nobody
only,
has a fucking answer.
the only person that I feel would have been an actual upgrade in the offseason that they could have gotten would have been maybe Sven. I would have been interested in Sven support
Agreed.
for 100 Thieves and Huhi, but I would never go the Huhi angle because we've seen Huhi with FBI.
Yeah, no,
on
I
this
don't
team for
need
years.
to
It's
see,
a
and I don't
stupid
need
idea.
to see that run back ever again.
No,
really
there's
don't.
just not a reason. And every support past that just feels not as good unless you want to take a gamble on someone like Seos. Which you can, but you're taking a gamble. At least with Ayla, you have a known quantity.
I think
And
you've definitely convinced me of this overall, especially like when you combine the support argument with it and like
Yeah.
who he sits in the league. I think you've convinced me that Scary Jerry could be top 4.
No, bot lane is just shit this year.
That's what makes me sad, though. The point. So I get why you're making the point well. It's just sad that
Oh no,
the more I
it
think
sucks.
about it, our ADC role is tough. I mean, Sven FBI could be good, you know, if
The problem
like,
is there's so many
the
question
team
marks
works,
around
but
everyone
it's
else.
tough. Yeah, and Ayla's so bad. I think what sucks is Huhi and Scary J, right?
Yeah.
I'm worried about Huhi. Huhi did not look good last season, but maybe him with Scary Jerry, new blood fixes him. FBI
sure
and
that wasn't
Ayla,
Huhi's
there's
fault?
nothing.
Are we sure that was
That was
Huhi's
the
fault
who?
and not FBI's fault?
Well, Huhi looked lost everywhere.
There were so many times
Around
where
the
he looked, macro plays. It just felt like he was never in the right spot.
I just felt
I
like
am
he was always lost.
I'm willing to just forget about NRG 2024. I don't think any player on that team other than contracts looked good for any length of time. And I'm willing
That's
to just
fair.
forgive and forget until someone proves me wrong.
I don't think this how
I mean,
the
that's a
logic
fair
works
way of
though. I
going
think
about
I think you have to look at it the other way: is that everybody's bad and they have to prove us right, or prove that they're
Yeah.
not bad.
But even without proving me right or wrong, take support in isolation and who he is a top 4, top 5 support. Just
I will agree with that.
baseline.
I can't fight.
Yeah.
that. Speaking
I mean,
of
but then
energy, sorry,
you can do the same thing for FBI low key, can't you?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. But again, like saying top 5 AD carry, there's no point in saying top 5 AD carry. You're either top 2 or you're everyone else.
kind
At this
yeah.
given point.
I mean, yeah.
Prove me
Yeah.
wrong. Someone prove me wrong. But at this
Yeah.
given point, you're top 2 or I don't care.
I think that's fair. I don't think there's a role outside of mid lane that's like hyper competitive like that right now.
No, I
in the
think
league.
jungle is. I think jungle's competitive.
Which would you say is more, mid or jungle?
I think mid is more competitive. There's only one, maybe 2 people that I'm like questioning in mid, and it's Keen and Saint.
Abadage.
Nah, I don't even think Ava.
Hmm.
Did you watch any of KC Blue last year?
A little bit, yeah. But it's KC Blue. It's different than the LCS, and I think
Yeah, but is the LFL really that much easier than the LCS? I'm not saying it's not easier, but I'm not saying it's not that much easier.
I think
I'm concerned about the North American level of play to begin with, but I'm not convinced
I'm weirdly
that
not.
Abadage coming back to North America is like the death's nail for Abadage's career.
No, I don't think it is either. To be clear,
Like,
I just
I think
don't
he's
like
fine.
if we're looking at like mid lane talent. Like
I think mid and
Quad-
jungle you have to rank via tiers. You can't rank via like position number.
sure, but like in the top tier, like if I'm just splitting them like
Yeah.
top half, bottom half, or like top
Yeah.
quad, quid, I would still put APA up there, despite what
Yep.
despite the problems that people have with them. Loki, I'm not sold on yet, but that's unknown, so like it feels
Mhm.
unfair to like put anything there. Palafox is definitely bottom. Who is Shopify's mid lane?
That's
Or Palafox, yeah. Who's this guy? Abadage bottom. Lion is
It's
what?
Keen
Keen
ain't left.
bottom. And Saint?
Saint was on HL Challengers, Hanwha Life Challengers.
Maybe.
He looked better than Henna did. I mean, but I'm like,
Sure,
I don't know
but
if that was that much of a
I-
better thing.
I just feel like Korean imports as of late are just so hit or miss. Like way
Also,
more
we-
hit or miss than it's ever been.
We saw Keen play because he was playing for Rainbow Seven at Worlds this year. He had like 2 good Tristana games, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and they were both
Tristana's
against
not.
Thieves.
Yeah, he played against 100 Thieves, Gam, and Pain. And he looked good in, I think it was the 100 Thieves match, and he looked good in the Pain match, but he didn't look good in Gam. Against Gam.
Korean-
I wrote an article like last week on
Yeah.
LTA and I'm going L10 rankings, and I did all the research. Then I'm
Yeah.
doing this off the top of my head, so if I'm wrong,
No, you're fine. Khan said Korean Challenger mid lanes have been good. Yes, I will give you Quid and Quad have worked out particularly well. Like those two specifically. But like outside of that, like Mask, I would say didn't work out all that
God,
well.
I forgot about Mask.
Yeah, but not even.
No, Mask
like,
was
just-
not great.
But he stood no chance. Immortal
Yeah.
should not count against.
But
Koreans.
okay, but I still have to get excited for Castle on Disguise this year now after that year on
okay.
Immortals.
Yeah, but I think you can
be
you
fine.
can forgive him for Immortals.
If
I
he
think
performs
Castle-
well, he has an obligation to perform well.
He
off
does.
the
He
jump.
does.
I think regardless of what Castle does this year, he's going to be the worst top laner in the league. It's just a question of how big is the gap.
Who else is left in top lane?
Top lane's like actually not terrible of a role.
You got what? Sniper, Impact,
Sniper Impact, Whippo,
Whippo,
Thanatos,
Santos, Fudge.
Fudge, Surdy, Licorice,
Oh
Castle.
yeah, we're stacked. So
Yeah,
it's
top
like
lane's a really good role.
Licorice and
and Castle are like
Licorice
the
and
two.
Castle are the standouts.
And how do you know that we're not getting 2020? What was it? 2023 Licorice best top laner in the world back?
True. And how do we know that Surdy's going to be, everything
Yeah,
he's
but
hyped up to
like
be,
the point is like you go to like the bottom 3 top laners in the league. I'm assuming you put Surdy in the bottom 3 top laners here, and like any of them could be really good, and it's like the gap may not be that big.
what will be interesting is if Thanatos comes out this year and is like bottom 4 top laners. That would be wild.
I think it's all in comparison. I think it would be absolutely wild, but I feel like if Thanatos is going to be bottom 4, it's because people are leapfrogging him.
Sure, but like the expectation for him is
Oh,
that he's
yeah.
gonna come in and play well.
if Surdy comes in and outperforms any import top laner, like the import top laners, every team will look stupid.
What I hope is that Surdy and Sniper are just like prepping each other. Like what I would love is to have like to see the two of them have like a budding friendship on the side, just being like, bro, fuck these guys. Fuck all of them. Like we're the like, and if you want to bring Licorice in, like bring the three like
The true NA players.
yeah. Well, I mean, even two of them are Canadian, so it's like
NA. I didn't say American.
no, I know. I'm just saying like you have the Canadian connection as well. It's like bring them in and be like, bro, fuck these guys. Okay, we can be nice to their face. Like nothing against Fudge, nothing against Flippo and any of them, but fuck these guys. Come on, let's prove a fucking point.
I truly think that if you're playing against Impact, you just have to go fuck this guy and just,
yes,
like,
you gotta disrespect him.
how else do you play against him? It's impossible.
Because he chokes every fucking international. Well, okay, not every international tournament, but like his international record does not match up to his domestic record, and it's because other top laners just go out and just bitch slap him, and it's like
Yeah.
have that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, anything you want to add here? Because we got one more person in lounge.
No. I think we've discussed all we can out of that point. I like it though. I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. I thought bringing up Scary J like that is kind of neat. I haven't really thought about him. I don't know much about him. You said you cast tier 2.
I do.
Where, like on the normal channel that they do it on?
No, I cast collegiate.
Oh, collegiate. Okay.
I don't
So
know why I
it'd be
said
on the
yeah,
unified
yeah.
channel, right?
Yeah,
bad.
unified EA, and we were through. I cast Valorant and League.
Oh, dang.
I
Okay.
just finished Valorant and League actually, but no one played for League.
Damn.
The most well-known player was Five Fire on the Ohio State team, former EG amateur player.
He's at
Dang,
Ohio State right
He's
Good
at
for him.
Ohio State. He absolutely slapped the shit out of everyone else in the league.
now. The Ohio State, to be very.
The Ohio State
Me and
side.
everybody else who used to watch Five Fires probably spent a lot of time screaming, "Why doesn't he have a team?"
I
And
watched
it
this
never
guy
mattered.
play Aurora mid lane Grasp, not on purpose. Like absolutely screwed up the runes. First game of the year that they actually did. They only lost when they FF because they couldn't make it. I watched this guy play Grasp Aurora before everyone was playing Grasp Aurora, and absolutely shit on the other guy in mid lane by outplaying him by playing Grasp Aurora. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dang.
Maybe one day he'll get a chance at a pro team. Maybe. The time will come. He'll be 35. He'll finally get his chance for like 2 games, and then he'll get benched.
I mean, sadly, yeah, that's probably the reality with how everything for him has seemed to gone. Every time I would sit there and be like, dude, this guy has to stand a chance. I'd listen to League podcasts talking about him while playing Elder Scrolls Online. This is before I was even married or dating, to be honest, my wife. And I would be like, bro, Five Fire's the next guy. Him and who's the other guy? Value?
Yep.
Did
Value
you say
and copy.
him? Yeah, Value. I was like, bro, they got this. They're the next big guys. This is gonna be sick. And then just every year they feel like he didn't find a team.
Well, we'll see what happens in collegiate. Maybe Ohio State makes a big run this year in CLOL.
I want to see some tier
Yeah.
1 or some like Division 1 schools actually make some runs in
Okay, hold
college
on.
esports. It's low key pissing me off that like
I
we
saw
don't
this
have that
online.
representation.
I gotta find it, and I will send it to you when I find it. But the support for Drury College, which by the way, half the colleges I've ever seen that are like really good League of Legends schools, I've never heard of in my
They're
entire
all
life.
small D3 schools.
They're all small D3 schools. So the support, who's a guy named Fat Cat, he put together a tier list ranking every single FBS school's League of Legends program, and it is something. Here, I've got it. I'll DM it.
Here, DM it to me. I'm gonna pull it up on stream right now because that
Yeah,
sounds
I'll-
fucking fantastic.
No, I love Fat Cat, my actual goat. Why did that send twice? I do not know. I would like to note that my alma mater, the University of Buffalo, is in the master tier, which I will take
University
as a
of
dub.
Buffalo. What the fuck?
Yes, sir.
Where's Florida at? We're at Diamond. Okay, there we go. Wait, hang on. Where's fuck? UNC is above us. Damn it. God.
But it's like you
why?
go through
Right?
here, and there's so many schools that are just like not applicable, including Boise State, which was surprising to me because they have a really good program for basically every other esport.
Dude, the fact that we are above Georgia means everything to me. I might not have the UNC point over Paul, but I've got Georgia at least. Fuck the dogs,
Does make me sad.
as it should.
It's just there's so many terrible teams in here too. It's really fun.
I mean, the whole like, I don't know how Riot fumbled the collegiate bag because it's literally free
Oh my God.
advertising to
Yeah,
just let
it really
colleges take
is.
care of it. But it will always be one thing that I'll be old man yells at clouds about is how they
forever
fumbled
I will be.
collegiate.
Oh,
Forever. We get pulled up to do collegiate stuff just because, and I seriously mean this. I have gotten told, and this is not a diss to any of the streams I've been on or anything, but I have been told to use players' real names because the only people that watch are their parents. They don't know their kid's in-game name, so I've had to use like an actual name for a player before to do
Oh
that,
my
and I don't know
goodness.
how we fumbled so hard that the only people that are watching are their parents, and I'm using their real names.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's how I know we fumbled.
Yeah, that's really sad. Hopefully they can undo those wrongs because, I mean, in general, I know we say it all the time. We deserve better, or people deserve better, but the scene really does. Like the American scene deserves something to do with colleges because when you look at college football versus NFL
Oh my
football,
god, yeah.
NFL is still incredible, but the bands, the crowd,
I was in a
100,000
collegiate
people
marching
in
band
Death
for-
Valley.
I was in a
Oh,
collegiate
yeah,
marching band
you
for 2
get it.
years. I get it.
You
I,
get it.
I went to Ford Field. I played on the field at Ford Field right after meeting Khalil Mack in a championship
fuck.
game. Like I
yeah,
get it.
that's life. That's
I
real
get
life. That's beautiful.
that's
I mean, that's literally why you are born in this country.
Yep.
That is
It's
what you're
it's
born
for college
for.
football to meet former alumni.
Not
and
even
go
just college
play
football. I will
halftime
say, like,
shows.
peak America. Okay. Other than technically worrying about your kids getting shot in schools, is
which seems to be an issue.
yes, is being able to
No,
go to
it's-
college. If you can survive enough to go to college and enjoy those 4 years, peak America. That's what we're all about right there. And then getting abused by your corporate overlords afterwards, but that's a whole other part of life. But like the 4 years of college, that's the one you look forward to.
Also, every school that's in the not applicable section at the bottom, I know you're not showing the tweet anymore, but every school that's in the not applicable section needs to fix that.
Yeah.
Especially like Arizona. Come on. Syracuse? Come on.
Yep.
They have enough money. Make an esports team.
Okay, there was supposed to be somebody that was going to pull in the lounge chat, but they appear to have disappeared.
I went on too long with my
no, you're
multitude
fine.
of takes.
If I see them come back, we will get their take. But what I might do to close this out for the last little bit is I'm going to drag us.
Can I do a quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out.
Do a shout out. Go right ahead. Sorry.
I want to
completely forgot.
shout out my League of Legends website that launched today,
Hey.
covering LTAN and LEC, similarly to how I used to cover Counter-Strike over at ReTLDR on their podcast and their newsletter. It's called The Strat Book. You can find it on thestratbook.gg. I'm very excited.
Very nice.
That sounds
Congratulations.
exciting. That's big.
Couple months of work. Finally done podcasting for a while and move on and do this.
There we go. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to
Now I'm
drag
ready
us.
to fight someone about a college football take.
I'm about to drag us all back into the lounge chat. If anybody in call, I'm going to keep this live until 11 o'clock. We got 20 minutes. We're just going to sit here and bullshit for the end of it because it's the off season. And we will not be here next week for the crossover podcast. I'll be back home in PA. So no show until 2025. So if you ever want to get a chance to come in and bullshit with everybody, now is your time. Because let me drag that over there, pull up in game, and then pop out this chat. The fuck is up, boys?
We're talking about how Georgia's going to lose immediately in the college football playoff.
Yep, round one.
This is what I came to hear. This is what I wanted.
But yeah, so I saw you gloss over it, but I saw Missoula rated pretty highly on that list.
Don't remember
Just-
seeing
just-
Mizzou anywhere on that list. Don't know what you're talking about.
Just, I get it. You hate us because you ain't us, but
I think I could literally. There's so many things I could do in my life that would be meaningful to literally nobody, but would still be more impactful than anything that's ever come out of Missouri University.
hey, you don't hit on Drew Lock, okay?
Who?
I'm sorry. You're putting Drew Lock up as the pride of Missouri University.
Broncos Drew Lock.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
You're saying
You
that to a
not see him
Chargers
rapping
fan.
on the sideline?
They're in conference. If you think that you're getting him to admit anything good about that, you're out of your mind.
Absolutely not. But I also live in New York, and are you telling me that Drew Lock, the third string quarterback for the New York Giants, is anything reasonable?
Well, wait. We're talking about the New York Giants, the ones that signed Daniel Jones to that massive contract. I don't know if they know.
I
QBs
take
at this
absolutely
point.
zero responsibility for the New York Giants.
I would
okay?
hope so.
At least they're better than getting an aging 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers that can't pass to save his life now.
But still thinks he's the hot shit and thinks you should have to declare your vax status before you give. an
We've
opinion
all
on the internet.
accepted that Atlanta's gonna cut Kirk Cousins. He's going to the Jets, right?
Yes.
Like that's
Dude,
yeah.
convinced.
Dude,
I'm
if they
convinced.
do, I don't think it's much better than what we have in Aaron right now.
Oh, I think it might be better. That's the wild
It's
part.
better, but it's like going from shit to like slightly like better shit.
Okay, but Kirk Cousins has had like a bottom half offense, but it's a very different bottom half than what Aaron Rodgers has had.
The problem, I don't think we have the money, period, even if we wanted to do that.
I don't think he goes to Jet. I think he's going to pull Russell Wilson if he gets cut, and he'll try and sign him with a playoff contender
Well,
for like
that's
$1
what-
million.
That's what Kirk's like contract is. He's got the Derek Carr contract, where it's like basically you can't trade Kirk Cousins midseason.
Yeah.
Well, and not that there's a trade left anymore, but you can't trade him midseason. You just have to straight cut him and make him an FA.
True.
Yeah.
I hate to curtail this back to Lowly Sports, but there was I want to burn it all down take that I wanted to hear and have discussed with the general group. Whoever wanted to throw that out there.
Wait, which one?
I think Khan had it.
Oh, I just the whole content point with the league esports
Oh, I'm
scene,
here.
and,
Let's do it.
and I'm not one who's big on the whole like. I think the idea of what some content when people want, I think they don't realize it's not exactly helpful. But some of these organizations and some of these teams and some of like how they're handling stuff just is not building any fan base. It's completely ridiculous and livid to me. Whether it's like 100T never having their players be brought into content creators that are a part of the 100T content creator team that are bigger names to try and like get them to work through maybe a bigger fan base. Whether it's a team like Shopify who's trying to build up Toronto. Here's a great idea. Why don't you host like a live event in Toronto in the off season, like a LAN or something, and you can turn that into like, hey, we have this cool little
Cloud9's
community.
doing it.
You can have
I'm
a
not even
community.
joking. Cloud9's doing a big thing with Mango in Toronto in conjunction with Laundersland.
So okay, even Cloud, like if I was one of the owners of these teams, like like whether it's Cloud9 or Shopify, if I have like an area where I'm trying to come home, I would be trying to turn up LAN parties. I would be trying to mobilize a North American, gamer fan base, and I would use this platform to be like my official launch point of these teams. Like have your team announcement be at one of these LAN party live events. Have the LAN party like live stream on your channel. And allow like your new players to be kind of like the content leads of maybe this LAN party in terms of like a final or semi-final matches, stuff like that. Build out communities better and like going out to people and building things up. don't just do JPEGs. Don't just sit and go to Korea and say you're going to Korea because you want to boot camp. Like we've boot camping in Korea has had mixed results. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like, it's not going to give you a fan base. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to leave us in the LTA season where we're complaining about the schedule being shit. We're complaining about why do we care about these people and all that stuff. It's just,
While I appreciate being the only like 100 Thieves hub of that show match that that has it on YouTube besides the Cloud9 VOD that is available on their Twitch, I was sitting there like, we sure about that one?
I mean, I think this kind of comes back. Like we just had the whole conversation about how Collegiate has been absolutely fumbled because Riot didn't put anything into it. How much of a user base, just like from a pure like business standpoint, do you miss out by not having content?
A lot.
It's a ton.
It's one of those. So what's funny for me today is I put out the tweet about like 100 Thieves sponsorship team because by all means their sponsorship team crushed it this year. Like a 75% retention rate on major sponsors having deals with like Croc, Oakley, Lexus, and like all like they're in terms of that, they crushed this year. Like if you just look at the surface, like it looks great from the outside in. The second you peel back that onion a little bit, and this is not an indication of the sponsorship team or the sales team, it's more content than anything else. And like DK, if you for some reason see this, love you, would love to chat. I still don't think I think they fumbled the bag really hard on YouTube. Their live events on Twitch have been great and their viewership has been fine on like individual creators, but like YouTube still is the end all be all of content online. And the fact that like video uploads are so inconsistent, you rarely see creators on the main channel at all. And the top post on Reddit right now for the 100 Thieves subreddit, which isn't all that active, but today there was one post that made people show up. Somebody asked, or somebody said, like, we need new creators in 100 Thieves. The post got downvoted into oblivion. It's sitting at 0 upvotes, but there's 22 comments underneath. And like the top comments all have 30 plus likes. So like people were like really passionate about saying, we don't do anything smart with our creators. And I just sat there and was like, I can see it.
We used to get a weekly or a bi-weekly episode of Squad from TL. We get like one a split now.
Mm-hmm.
well, the issue with things like Squad, and
Same
even
with, on Cloud9 too.
it's just the amount of money that they were paying people to produce that show was ridiculously high, and they would never be able to. And so, and I think they still could do with ways where they,
I agree to an extent. I think Liquid is actually a different thing because they have their in-house production company and they're paying people anyway because they have 1UP. That's the 1UP Studios that's like across the street. That's an entire production company that is from TL that works with Riot and stuff. Like they have a production company. This is not like a huge. It theoretically should not be a massive expense for them to do it.
No, it's just
because
whether
they have
the
no
resources,
in-house.
like whether they have the people available. But honest to God, here's my take on that one. I don't think any team should be uploading any more of those series anymore. I think they're a thing of the past. I think it's a waste of time. Because what are you going to show me that you haven't showed me for the past 6 years of, hey, we're struggling a bit in scrims. Cool. Like there are so many other content pieces that you can do that show off player personality more.
Oh, there absolutely are, but like we've been accustomed now for years and years that the only bit of content that we're gonna get is
I'll tell you what needs to fucking happen. And I've been on this wave for a bit, is like a Drive to Survive type series, but here the foundation's already there, okay? And Jat's done it a little bit, but I want this to go full off the deep end. Have you seen his Let's Go series?
Yeah.
I think that's a great foundation point.
No, I think it's
he
great.
should spend every week at a different team and go around and like interview somebody there, talk about the matches upcoming, and then like set, and then it basically, so the way in my mind it would work is that they would start filming on like Tuesday of that week and it would go through to Sunday night. and Jat has like a final sit down like conclusion after the week is over to assess like his thoughts. Like he's the narrator, but like he's also like, you know, reflecting on like how they did that week and like whether they accomplished the things that they were like saying that they were going to do in that. But give like a behind the scenes look at like how the day-to-day in or how the day-to-day at Immortals is. But also your storyline is going to be different every week. And like you find a way to pull that in, and that is more entertaining for me than watching the same team week in and week out struggle with the same shit.
Here's my groundbreaking, not going to be fun take for you guys to take the swallow in. They don't need to care about you with their content. You are always coming around.
Agreed.
They need to care about the people who aren't watching it. And I don't think the content you guys are suggesting is going to enhance and give a new person the idea of engaging. What they need to do is make content and bring in personalities in North America that are actually popular in North America. They need to find a way to get Kai Cenat involved in LCS and broadcast in that type of a way. They need, and these orgs need to, you know, if you're 100 Thieves, you need to make sure your players are with your Valkyries and Courages and your nade shot videos and stuff like that.
Yes and no. Here's the part where I disagree. I agree with your point as a whole, but I still think you need that documentary type thing underneath it. Because I think that's going to be your through line. Yes, it's not going to be the thing that gets new people into it, but it will be the thing that once people get into the ecosystem, that sticks them with it. It'll be the through line underneath. So I agree. We need
get
both.
Kai every week or something. That's just not going to be a thing.
We need exactly what you're saying. You need the Courages, the Valkyries, the Kai Cenats, the Ludwigs. Like you need those type of people to like get their audience in. But you need that through line to have a story that people can follow. That like now when
that needs to be your main. That needs to be your main broadcast. Like we've seen with VODs on all this stuff, the average viewership you get in main broadcasts is what your casual viewership is. People aren't really going out much and always watching some of these big through line documentary videos anymore.
Agreed. I just think I think it serves its purpose well and does especially well on YouTube. Like that type of content will do insanely well.
I think this year is going to be an interesting year for that because Toast is in the league. Because you have one of those like gateway people, right? People already know Toast. They already watch Toast. They already listen to Toast. Same way people already watch Ludwig. People already watch Kai and stuff. And you get them in with that kind of gateway stuff with Toast. But Toast can actually be around the entire season to do content with the guys that are on the LCS team and use that as a gateway. And then you keep them with other stuff, right?
Sure.
But
So I guess
the problem is that Toast is only here for a year.
Well, here's my question for you, Mecha.
He's not here for a year. He's gonna get 100 Thieves guest spot.
They're gonna give him 100 Thieves slot. We don't know what's gonna happen. But,
Yeah.
So the Toast do a lot of personal content involving his teams the last couple of years with Disguised, or was he just?
Bit, I think like he was
Well,
always
yeah,
in
was
the
he just-
update videos.
I mean, you could see it with like TFT and stuff. Like Toast is always around the TFT guy. Like he just went to Macau. He wasn't playing, but he was co-streaming at Macau with like Box and Emily Wang, who they signed for the event and stuff.
Sure, but the more teams you end up having, the more difficult that task becomes. Of like
got, what,
trying
3
to invest
teams?
your time. It sounds dumb, but even 3 teams is a lot. Ask Hacks.
No. But like TFT is not a real team. I say that as a TFT player,
I would say
it's a specific thing.
for Disguise, TFT is their top team esport at the moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my idea is like it needs to go like hypothetically beyond co-streaming. Are like Disguise players showing up in the Disguise like in like Disguise Toast's own like YouTube content and YouTube videos, or is he only like co-streaming their matches and that's it?
Would he do
We'll
that
find
and
out.
fuck up his algorithm? Is there? Pitch me a video that would, in theory, work on Disguise channel and not be like a 20K drop in viewership because it's these random league guys that nobody gives a fuck about.
So you?
Not gonna lie to you, I
Yeah.
don't follow this guys already, so I don't know what videos they.
Because that's the thing. is,
Yeah,
like,
I'm not a big helper on
that
this, but
because like that's the thing is like whenever like as a creator.
Okay, so he has a lot of Among Us content. Why not
Yeah.
include some of those players in Among Us? Like one or two of those players in the Among Us lobby.
Great pitch, already down. Yes, absolutely.
Among Us? Isn't that assassin game?
Shut up, Luigi. Nobody asked.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I'm thinking about like, there's other teams that have kind of done this with Counter-Strike to like the same degree, right? But even there, like the big creators that have bought Counter-Strike teams think like OniPixel had a team called Drillas who tried to make their way through the Asian RMR to get to the major that was in Shanghai. He was their coach. He stood behind them for every match. He paid someone to co-stream every single match on his stream, and he just was standing there coaching the entire time. That's not reusable evergreen content, but it's content that exists.
No, I mean, honestly, if North America wanted to grow, what they do is they'd have kind of NFL style where you have 1 or 2 big matches a week on the main channel. Every other team has to get their own broadcasters. Analysts would be gone.
Let me also say this, okay? Name the LCS or LTA pros that appeared on Ludwig's stream.
Pobelter?
That's one.
Double lift.
That's two.
A double lift.
And do you count Flowers?
Yes, I'll count Flowers. It's like a personality.
Yeah, I think that's it though.
We had no current top player.
No, I don't think
in
there were
the
any
game
current players.
that showed
all
up
in
at all.
I don't believe.
Not
I
all
think
of
the
them are in
closest to
Korea.
current top player you got was Cadrol over voice chat. I don't think you got any closer than that.
So
Cloud,
It's
I saw
almost
you
like if
hopped
you
in.
want better content, we need to do more content.
I mean,
But
yeah.
just spewing more content into the world without it being targeted is also a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, it needs
honestly,
to be good.
the
It can't
only-
be Immortals level, but
the only 2 that would be good at it would be Ven and Whippo.
Bro. I mean, I agree.
They're the only 2 that would actually try.
What question? One was, can anybody answer this for me? Because I no longer have the ability to touch my keyboard. When was the last time the LCS or LTA uploaded a video on their main YouTube channel? And what was it?
I'm willing to guarantee that it was during finals last year. That was not the squad product, because that's a different thing.
they actually post on Twitter like super old saved clips of like asking, players, would you rather, stuff like that. So they're
Sure.
doing more than last, off season.
Sure,
Which is
I'll
not
give
a
them
lot.
that, but like that's like we know that's the bare minimum, and you're just like you are putting together shit from last year.
I mean, the last one was literally a month ago.
No. We can't count the dive. That's a bullshit thing to count. The last thing was a
Then it's 2
pros
months ago,
episode.
yeah.
Pros episode right before Worlds.
How did we not have
So
a
why are
live?
we not counting the dive?
I choose not to count the dive.
I think
Because
that
the dive is not for someone who is, and for that matter, I can't really even count pros. It's not meant for someone's not going to sit through an hour-long thing if you're not a diehard already. If you're not already insanely invested, you're not sitting through an hour and 14 minutes of talking about World's meta.
You
Like,
could
this just
say
not
they've
happening,
already
man.
dived
Pros-
in.
Yeah, they clip it. Like people see 3 minutes of Buppo just like
and stink.
completely crap talking every C9 member, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna see what." Like you don't have to be a
No,
diehard.
Yeah,
the clips
Yeah.
make sense, but just full hour-long videos.
So, but you're saying where's the curated 10 to 20 minute
yeah,
YouTube standard content that we know is kind of like meta at the moment, outside of the long form audio stuff that exists?
See,
I mean,
the
here's the
issue with
thing.
that is Riot would then have to pay people more money to make it, and they don't want to do that.
My thing
And
is
then
like,
that would
where's
get you more views, and then you would make more money in return.
where's the Let's
Yeah.
Go series? Jat went to Worlds last year and did that, and like it provided a ton of great content around like NRG's massive upset over G2.
Oh, you know what? When you said before about Let's Go, that's not what I was thinking about.
As much as we
Wait,
want to say,
Wait,
like,
was that the
making,
series where he went golfing? I just want to make sure I've got the right name.
That was one. That was one of them, I think. But
Okay.
like,
okay.
The
So am I
golfing
was
one.
done.
I do not.
Oh.
I do not condone the
Oh.
golfing one. To be very clear, that shouldn't have happened. Okay.
I'm not condoning or not condoning. I'm just that's the one that I remember in my head.
I remember
Wasn't there
seeing
one
that.
on a train?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
they're
on a
in
train to
Korea.
Busan. talking about
Great
NRG.
movie, by the way.
Amazing movie.
But they were on a train to Busan talking about quarterfinals ahead of that matchup, I think.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic fucking content. Like, that's great. I love that. It's like 12, I think it was, they had a longer podcast of like the JLXP, which went on Jat's channel. But then they had like a shorter version that they put on like the main YouTube channel, which just got people hyped up for the series. That was
Yeah, and
great.
none of them
Maybe maybe that's the issue. Is all the people that would do the content are just doing it on their own channels. So what was the last chat? Or I know Captain Flowers was uploading for a bit.
Is he still
So
uploading?
He was uploading during Worlds because he wasn't at Worlds. I don't know if he's
That's
still
fair.
uploading.
I know he's been doing streams and stuff.
Yeah, but
He does streams all year round.
But YouTube,
not as like a bad thing. He does streams all year round.
if you want to hit mass popularity, you have to be big on YouTube. You have to be.
What about if you're big on TikTok?
Then you get banned. So
I also
Unlock
I
speed.
do agree with Mecca a bit on like the dives shouldn't count as much, but I do think it even like highlights a bigger problem when like yeah, the latest video was the dive, but that was over a month or so ago. That like the channel so dead that not even like the one thing that always comes around often is completely like not even like it's
Okay,
been
but-
over a month since.
How about this? The dive episode after Worlds Finals has 153,000 views a month ago. The episode explaining that the LTA exists is at 54,000 views also a month ago.
I mean, brother, you don't gotta tell. I could give you 20 million examples of talking
I-
about
but-
T1 and Korea is gonna boost your numbers. I'd have a whole.
but even-
if you
even
want
if-
15
jump
minutes of
back-
that.
Every single dive episode, the only thing that was close in numbers was the last pro episode to the LTA explainer, which is a very important video.
I don't think the explainer is all that important. I'll tell you what's more important, and it's something that they aren't even fucking doing right now, which is anything to promote it.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild to me that you just like changed your name. All right.
Yeah, I have friends that
And-
didn't know.
Exactly. I guarantee you, at least this is a made up number to be very clear. I'm talking out of my ass, but this is gut feeling. 80% of the LCS audience probably does not know that the name changed. There is no fucking chance.
90% of that probably won't care.
I know they
tune
won't
in.
care, but like they won't
Yeah.
know. And when you're trying to get people to show up on January
difficult is
25th
it gonna be?
to watch the first fucking game, and people are like, "Where's the LCS?" It's like unless they are already there, and even then it might be a little bit iffy. It's like somebody make some content to promote it and like bash it. Like Mr. Beast can, whether you like him or not, can shamelessly plug Mr. Beast chocolates in every video without problem. Shamelessly plug the LTA North starting
My
on January 25th.
My only hope is that they're not doing it now because we're in the pre-holiday.
Not an excuse.
pre-New
I
Year.
refuse
I'm
to
not
accept-
saying I'm not saying it's a good excuse.
I know. I know.
But my only hope is that they're going, okay, we're going to put a shit ton in the second we get back from holiday
Well,
break
wait,
in
wait, wait.
January because you're close enough people will remember.
No
That's
fucking
the
hope.
How much
hope.
do you want to bet?
I agree with that, but also has the LCK, besides the event that
Well, but
They
think about what
didn't-
LCK and
wasn't
LPL are
done.
doing. There's Demacia Cup going on right now.
yeah,
at
sorry, yeah,
LPL.
but like LEC, besides that, is any
Oh.
like region actually just
No,
doing
because
what
no
they
other
planned?
region
Yes,
needs
every
it.
single region is doing stuff.
That's the thi-
CBLAW had CBLAW. Like LCK had their Kespa Cup and FearX. We have Demacia Cup. Like LEC had two different events. Like every single
Well, those were team
region
run,
besides
though,
North America.
for
had
the
It,
their-
LEC.
it doesn't matter the point whether it's team run or org run. Like you need something, and we've had nothing for North America at all. Period. We've had fuck
I
all.
completely agree with you.
I mean, where were we gonna have it? Our teams aren't here. Like
You don't need the whole
3/4
team
of the
for
league
that.
is not here.
You don't need the whole
But that
team.
that right there is not an excuse. That's even more of a reason. You are all boot camping in the same fucking building. There should be content that comes out, dude.
We
do
had
you-
the fear.
If you had any idea, they had one event that was on Cloud9's Twitch, and that there should be YouTube videos coming out of that boot camp every single day.
Yo, there's got to be at least 3 breaking points taking place at the same time right there. Why can't we see any of them?
Like that's what I don't get is like I can think of at least 5 different YouTube video ideas that you could do right now with a mix of different players. And spread that out across channels if you want, but like there's zero excuse why you can't have that shit. I get they're boot camping, I get they're practicing, but like part of this whole thing is building your fucking brand. And nobody right now is doing an effective job of that in the modern media landscape.
In North
Because
America.
the teams
Yes.
that would already have the brand.
I'd be willing to say in most League of Legends, I'd be willing to say just overall, it's not a North America specific.
I think you can
I
point
think
to
Korean
the,
teams
each-
do a lot better than North American teams. If I'm being honest, like if you look at what even
may do
BNK
better,
FureX, even if you look at Gen G, what they do, even just the players, the fact that they stream every single day. You look at what T1 are doing. You might not see it on TikTok, but like, they will go in front of audiences of thousands of people. No, I'm just saying the same thing happens with Gen G. Like if you look at in general, half of the
That's their
LCK
contracts, though.
does Hanwha Life. BNK FairX, Guangdong Freaks, like half of the teams are constantly pumping out content
Right, so
between
take the
streams,
East
between
away
showing
then.
on.
But like
What's up?
add LEC in there too, because if you're not named K Corp, what are you doing?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Somebody in chat said, I don't think you bring your content guy on a Korean boot camp for 2 weeks. Yes, you fucking do. Yes, you
What's
do.
he supposed to do during those 2 weeks? Go on
Like,
vacation? That's
that-
the job is to do content
like-
on the team. Where's the team in Korea? Great, going to Korea.
Content is a 24/7 job. It just is. And you got it sounds dumb, but like as a content creator, the time you get to relax is actually during the season for parts of it. Because you have games ongoing that the team naturally already does that. Your job as content is to market a specific thing, whether it's yourself, a product, a team, something else. Like you are in downtime now where people are literally just like there's nothing going on. Now is when you should be doing it the most because the fruits of that labor will be seen on January 25th when you hit the Rift. And all of a sudden you've got 20,000 more people that had no fucking clue who you were prior to that.
I can guarantee there won't be a single team or the Riot, like LTA, that will post a piece of content that will go viral, will do relatively well. They will take that and use it as an ad and tell people, hey, come watch us on the 25th. You will not see a single ad. You will not see a single piece of content that will overperform. You won't see any of it because they aren't making it. And that's a problem.
Yeah. To the chat's point, full 14-day, 24-hour pay. You just pay for their hotel and food when they're over there. Like beyond
It's
that,
not different.
beyond
They're
that,
gonna
like
be
the
salaried people.
yeah,
to be
like
honest.
they're assumedly getting a salary. They're getting a cut of any sponsorship deals that they get. Your job, you're already paid. The whole point is to go over there and just make more content, and you make your money from the ad revenue on that content and sponsorship deals that you can put on that. Because guess what? It's easier for 100 Thieves to sell a sponsorship on a continuous series that exists from a content creator on the 100 Thieves League channel than it is to make up an entire concept that has not been done before. Not to go at you in chat. I love what you're bringing up in terms of the points because it allows me to flush out what I'm trying to say here. You got to be content and entertainment focused first. We are not the NFL. We are not the NBA.
Now, here's my question, I guess, for people
what
here.
I'm saying, bring back regional broadcasting.
I've been all about that. I think all teams should be doing that with co-streaming no matter what.
Yeah, like straight up, the desk is boring.
Are they?
Besides
are they
Captain
allowed
Flowers
to
and Azale.
co-stream?
No.
If they're not, that's stupid. Then Riot
Wow.
should
No,
be.
no, Riot doesn't want them to co-stream because they want people to go to the main stream.
Yeah, but
Did
to see
did
ads.
bro just throw smoke at my girl Emily?
I will say, I
oh
do-
yeah, yeah, I will.
Oh boy.
Analyst desk, she's great. Casting, not so much.
I don't know. I kind of like her as a color commentator to a certain extent. When she just gets
I
like
like
pure
her
react.
passively explaining things on the background,
Yeah.
which would be really, color.
Color commentator, I've
If-
enjoyed her.
If every current Riot caster, color commentator, who's going 1-2 in the draft, or who is driving up the bidding war? Flowers is Zale.
Okay, well,
Well,
I think we have,
Flowers isn't a color
we have to. I think it's healthier for this discussion to exclude Flowers because he's like the best in the world. Period. Like any region would take him
hold
in
on.
a heartbeat.
Do you
I
mean
agree.
color caster or just caster in general? Because in my head, they're two different things.
They are, but if it's, hey, every team now needs to broadcast their own league games. We will have here. We'll take it out. We'll have Azael and Captain Flowers. They can do it, but we'll just say in this case they are Riot's main event. Sunday Night Football. They are the guy for the big match. So those two are out. Who's going 1 and 2 in the bidding war?
Kobe's going 1.
I disagree.
I'm glad you disagree.
I think-
Please explain why you disagree.
I think Jat won.
Jat would have been 2,
Ooh.
so I'm not.
I think Jat won, and then I think Emily 2. Or either. I think it's those two. I would not put
will
Kobe
note-
in with
I'll-
those.
I
two.
will
We'll
note
also
that
throw
not
in
a
tier 2. Anybody that you like in tier 2 can.
Oh,
be
yo,
this.
Yanni goes number 1 overall. My goat.
I
do think some new blood. I don't know if I'd take a 1 overall, but I do think new blood, like in that 3-4 spot, would actually be helpful. And you
I've been-
pair them up with like Jad or someone.
I've been dying to get your Kangas and Cubby or even
Yes.
like Nasal people, like somebody like that, to be just a team that does if Team Liquid could convince Riot to be like, hey, let
They
us
used
have
to.
So
let us have Cubby and let us have Kangas and let us do our own broadcast only like that. It's just our game, our focus team, especially in the best of 3 era.
So I think the way you do this and make it successful is now you include streamers in it and you get rid of co-streaming. You get rid of co-streaming. You say, hey, you have to partner with an org and be their
but that's
guy,
Yeah,
That's a
but
double
that-
and then you
but
have
that's
like
not
Jet
reality.
and Dom, or
It's not
That's gonna be
reality.
too much work, and you're gonna lose so many streamers that would have just co-streamed on their own stuff.
yeah, screw 'em.
I think
But then you're saying
Co-streaming
fan
does not
bases.
help
it doesn't.
I-
But that's
I
the
will
re-
die
that's
on
where
that
we're
hill.
at. Sure, I agree. Like co-streaming,
unless they're paying for it.
yes.
In an ideal world, it does not help, but we are not in an ideal
we
world.
are in a
The goal is
situation where
get eyes on product.
we have given up on media rights deals. That's never gonna fucking happen. So all that matters is getting eyeballs on it, and co-streaming is the best thing for eyeballs at the moment. Here's my play. Hear me out on this. Okay. I think we I realize I have a platform. This is all hypothetical before anybody like comes at me for anything. This is just like if I'm like trying to picture a broadcast that like
Platform D is nuts.
yes. Captain Flowers, Azael, Emily, Jat, not Rafa, sorry. Cubby and Kangas. Those are the only 6 on the broadcast.
I have a problem with that.
The only 6. Now here's from there. I don't know who Raz wants to pick. I don't know who Kobe wants to pick. Pick a team, be their dedicated, and build out a co-streaming platform with that team in the same way that Scump and FaZe do with theirs, and allow them to become like permanent analysts and kind of mini shills, but not really shills, like with that org. Let them be synonymous with it.
Yeah, I feel like just looking at it, it's Jat TL just already.
But here's my catch with that, okay? I don't want to fucking see Cubby and Kangas casting with any of the other big ones. I want them as a duo at all times. Because I want them to be able to work together the entire year to push themselves to try and be better than the other two or the other pairings that are on broadcast.
I have a couple notes.
Okay.
Note number 1: you have too many color casters and too many play-by-plays if you pair them up the way you just stated.
Flowers
Flowers is a play-by-play. Azael can do both. Emily and Jet are both color.
yeah. So Flowers.
So you could pair if you pair down, that's fine. But the way you were
Yeah.
saying it was Flowers and Azael.
No, I was just
which
saying
we
they're locks.
also
I'm not
get.
saying I'm not putting the
Okay,
two of them
okay.
together. No, I'm putting like you can
That-
put
that-
any combination of Flowers and Azael with Emily and Jad, however the fuck you want.
Okay,
Like,
fine.
do that,
Okay.
whatever. But I want Kangas and Cubby together as
That's
a duo
fine.
the entire time.
Point number 2, which is I think is the more important one. Riot have done this before. They had teams be allowed to co-stream their own games.
Yep.
I casted with the guy who did TL's games when they first did it. He's a guy named Travesty.
Yep.
He's great.
Love Travesty.
They did a lot. He did a lot of casting for TL, and it just got like 20 views.
Yeah, because it's as of right now, They even back then they did not know how to co-stream a product like that.
I love Trav, and he's great. He's excellent at casting.
Yeah.
But he also does not have like the same brand as other people do. Like if you were to put Kobe directly forever attached to TL in that way.
But here's my
also,
thing. They shouldn't
the
be casting.
number goes from like 20 to 100.
They shouldn't be casting these games, to be very clear.
Yeah.
Like, has anybody in this call besides me watched either the Scump or the FaZe Call of Duty watch parties?
I've watched Counter-Strike equivalent.
But nobody's actually seen those watch parties because those are the peak form of what watch parties can look like. And it requires people with decent game knowledge, but that are also a diehard hub for fans. That the team pushes, that the players come, like you got to have players coming back onto those co-streams afterwards. If TL has like the first game of the day, guess what? APA better be popping up on that co-stream for that second series when it's all said and done to like give a quick little interview and like talk with like TL fans. That's how you grow it. And you have personalities that like, I don't know if Mid Beast is like the guy, whoever TL has is like their content creators. You have to have consistent creators there that like it is their product. It is their baby that they're trying to grow as well. And then you throw in like a Raz with TL, and like Raz is very like, in that case, Raz is part of TL and is like actively trying to grow it. You need to give these people stakes in this to like try and get them to push the product. And if the product fails, it's on their shoulders for not trying to grow it. Because I'll promise you right now,
more equity in the league too.
Sure, I can make you this promise right now. How many people do you think would tune in to a 100 Thieves official LCS co-stream on their channel? Okay, that is myself, one of the staff, and a different content creator each and every week, starting off.
Are the other content creators also co-streaming to their own channel?
No, it is 100 Thieves channel.
600 people.
I could double that by the end of the year.
I'm sure you could.
I can. I promise you I would.
That was not supposed to be a sarcastic.
No,
I'm sure you would.
It's
That
not.
was a very serious. I'm sure you could.
And
But-
I think it also depends on who from 100 Thieves. Like if it's Nadeshot, instantly.
Say it's
That's
Nadeshot, then
why
I don't want it
would
to be
encourage-
Nadeshot.
Say it's
I
a
don't-
rotating cast.
Yeah, that third
Doesn't-
seat
it
is
doesn't
always
really matter.
rotating. We can have it.
Doesn't matter.
The point is that the
Who the person-
consistency is myself and one other guest host of our choosing. We are the two that are there each and every week. And if we bring a third, we bring a third. If we bring a fourth, we bring a fourth. But like the two of us have to be there each and every week, and the two of us that run that are responsible for the show's success. We could 100% double viewership from the time we start to the time that we end because I have faith in how we market it and how we push out content from it.
I have a stupid question. It's not that stupid, actually. I think it's quite a smart question. But point is, how does this affect Riot Main broadcast, if at all, and the sponsorship deals that come from and are related to and depend on Riot Main broadcast?
They are apparently cutting out some of those, but there's rules in place that like you're still watching the main broadcast on these co-streams, and you can't block their sponsors, and you can't have sponsors, to my knowledge, that like fully contradicts. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain. But Call of Duty makes it work perfectly fine, despite like having different sponsors throughout.
Yeah,
They just know when to push them.
I think you still have your league sponsors on, like, 100 Thieves, the C9, the TL broadcasts. But then I think it also allows those those orgs to then get org-specific sponsors as well, as long as obviously there's no contradiction. And, it also, we hate to say it, Riot loves saving money. It helps them.
Tell me what would
They don't-
grow 100 Thieves fandom more. Okay? That idea or doing what we're doing right now?
Well, I think very highly of us. So what we're doing right now, obviously,
I think
seems to be there.
It'd have to be a combination. I don't think it's one or the other.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like the question would be what I'm suggesting would not be worth
No.
it if there's not a clear value add. Do you think that
What
value
you're
add is there?
suggesting has a value add because you stream from the 100 Thieves channel. The 100 Thieves channel comes built in with people that will go onto Twitch to watch whatever they want to watch on Twitch and see, oh, 100 Thieves is live. Let's go figure out what they're doing. And they get there, and they may only stay 3 minutes, but you get a continuous filtering in and out of people who go, "Hey, 100 Thieves is live," and they'll come in at least for a couple minutes, and hopefully you get some of them to stay. That
And
right there
make
is
new
the
league
built-in
fans then.
value.
Yeah,
Through
and
that
as
as well.
and as David pointed out in chat, which is great because that's the next evolution of it, you can have fans attend those things and watch with the watch party as well, and have your own mini live events that you start activating a dedicated following that are like coming in to watch the show, where you're engaging with both chat and with people in real life, and like bringing fans up to talk occasionally.
Yeah,
But
for a
it's like-
big game, like
Yeah.
you know, if instead of it on your own broadcast, you have the Sunday night football game.
So what I'm hearing,
You
David,
do
is
that.
just-
You go to an event space for it, or you're in a playoff, a final.
I mean, ideally, if you're gonna, in my opinion, if you are going to do a proper co-stream for an organization, it cannot be an online product. In terms of like all 4 people that are like anybody that's on the broadcast, it has to be in
Have to be
person.
there.
Cannot be done online. Has to be in person.
So what you're saying, David, is you're going to start live streaming all of your events on some channel.
I mean, I fucking would. Yeah. For 100 Thieves, give me enough that I can quit my teaching job, and we will do this shit instantly. I'll fly out to LA every weekend if you need me to.
C9, you heard them. Sponsor this man.
I need enough that I can quit that. You cover the airfare, and I need enough for a dog sitter because Emily works double shifts on Saturdays, so I can't.
You forgot the most important thing about your 100 Thieves discussion, David.
They have to
Is
be
what
here.
what happens if one of their other games have quote unquote more important things going on.
I will stream from the fucking parking lot to prove a point. They have like this area up top, like above their basketball court, and I will make the most scuffed, hilarious stream
Red zone
possible of us streaming from on top of a fucking basketball hoop because we were kicked out of the office because we're not important enough. But one day we'll show them. And the whole idea of the stream is like we're fighting for our spot back in the office. Help us get back into the office. And like there's a mission behind it.
I don't know if Mecca understands that lore from last year, but there was a tweet when 100 Thieves were playing like a really big best of 3.
Oh
And
yeah,
they
Nate
put
was
out-
watching Counter-Strike, wasn't he?
Well, they put out some tweet about like, oh, a big weekend for VCT and Call of Duty, and like I underneath was like, hey, what about your League of Legends team?
Oh,
And they were just like, we want to focus on the more important games right now. And then they didn't tweet anything when 100 Thieves went to LCS finals.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, again, 100 Thieves may not be the best brand to
Look, it's the
Make
one
this
that I'm
comparison
passionate
with.
about, so it's the one that I always use in these examples. So I think Team Liquid would be like here's my two things
Right.
that TL should be doing right now.
They have a space in Washington D.C. Send someone there every fucking week.
I'll have the watch parties from Tease.
I'll
I
I'll
think
go
it
down
is.
a train. My sister lives there. I'll just stay at her place. Fine, done.
Oh, dude.
Look, already saving the money.
Exactly. We'll make it work.
But no, I think that once the orgs that are in, because I don't think they'll have promotion relegation permanently. I think once the orgs that are in and are established, probably 26. I think that is the next step of orgs need to actually, for once in their life, take initiative and run the league.
Yeah.
It
You don't
can't
think
be
that
Riot
Last spot's gonna
running the
stay?
league. No, I don't.
No, I think the broadcast is on its way out very quickly. Or will be such a diminished level that it's like it will still exist, and Riot will be able to put sponsorships on the product as a whole, obviously, because like the broadcast, it's like you can still require co-streamers to like show those types of things to the point where you can sell advertisements on it. But like sponsors aren't dumb. Sponsors are gonna see that Dom and LS and Cage. Well, I mean not Cagerel now because I don't think he's gonna be watching the LTA at all this year, which is gonna be a massive hit for viewership. But like why would sponsors not just go to them and partner with them? So if you're the teams in this case, you really need to be putting yourself in the position to start co-streaming and getting that sponsorship money because it will eventually fall out of Riot's hands.
There was a really good article recently about Razer,
Yeah.
who had basically said if we spend $10,000 on esports
saw
partnership,
that.
I think it was from Jackson
Yeah.
or Sarah, I think it was Jackson, that if we spend $10,000 on esports partnerships, you have to beat out Google AdSense and the advertising value that we get. That you need to I think if you spend $10,000 in Google AdSense, you get $50,000 worth of marketing, and you have to be able to beat that. Otherwise, what's the point in investing into esports?
Yep.
And so every single one of these orgs needs to try and make that be a reality, because I can tell you, there's at least 3 or 4 teams that are in league esports. I can't remember off the top of my head if they're in LCS or not, or LTAN or not, but that are sponsored by Razer. So the question is how are you quintupling Razer's marketing budget with the content you're making?
They're not. As of right now, they're
That-
not. I'll tell you, the one thing that made me want to buy a product of theirs more than anything.
Oh no, it was Sheep. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
it
want
was
to get
Sheep,
proper.
Sheep, sorry.
It was Sheep. It was not
Uh,
Jackson.
When Optic announced that they were partnered with Razer, like whenever they like went away from Astro, and I forget who they had besides that, they put the branding of their players on the marquees in Best Buy. So when you went in, you saw a picture of Scump above Razer products. And if you think that it wasn't fucking cool as shit to walk into Best Buy 2 minutes from where he went to school, and you could put on the, like, what they should have done, and this is a miss on their part, every central Pennsylvania Best Buy, you should have found a way to like put Mechanicsburg, PA, or like put something from Pennsylvania on there to show that it's like the hometown boy. Because that was cool as shit to be able to see him and be like, I'm 2 minutes away from where he grew up. That's awesome.
I mean, we've had that with league products before, with
It's also
people having
changing.
their.
Advertising too nowadays. No one's going in the store.
Went in the store
yeah.
yesterday. I was just looking at keyboards today.
I'm just saying, if you want in store to be successful, that's the thing. Like, because the only people that are going in store are like real, like local diehard, where that type of thing would actually be more effective than not.
Right.
But to chat's point, to everybody else's point, I know Khan's mentioned this, but the in-person events have to start picking up.
May I say something?
Oh yeah, so,
Yes.
dude, you cut us the fuck off. We talk way too much.
No worries, no worries. I was gonna say to that, Razer actually did a partnership with Faker and stuff relatively recent. Well, he has like a history with doing partnerships with Razer and do mouses and shit. And not recently, like I went out with my buddies and stuff to the Walmart and stuff, and we were talking. We were looking at the gaming section, of course, like we always do, and we look at the Razer mouses, and we noticed that there was I think it was a CS player on one side, and then we walked to the other side, and I noticed that there's Faker on the other side of that cardboard box where all the mouses are at, and my friends immediately say, "Hey, isn't that your Asian Jesus or something like that? Like your idol?" And I'm like, yes, I know, I play League, haha, and stuff. And I was just telling him, I'm like, yeah, but isn't it impressive the fact that like he's such a big brand that like that he came here to the West and like he's right here, guys. Like he's like mainstream, like he's making it here to the West at the end of the day and stuff. And like I agree with you a lot in the sense that like I feel like they should like be publicizing more NA talent and like create content around that and stuff and everything, because it's kind of crazy to the fact that we relate more to a person who doesn't speak English. Of course, he does content with English subtitles and everything and stuff, but we relate more to him because he releases more content and there's more effort from orgs like T1 and stuff, and Gen G, like you said, all LCK and stuff. We relate more to those players than our own NA who don't even have to pay for a translator and stuff. It's just crazy to me.
Faker's not even the one that I would compare to, because like Faker's the Michael Jordan of the sport. So he's a level above, but like fucking Chovy didn't win shit for years. And yet somehow he's more of a household name in America than so many of our North American players are.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean,
like,
Yeah. Well, no, it is because they go up against Faker. And
Yes, I know.
Just as a side note to that, people underestimate just how, like, I know we all understand how big Faker is here. My buddy, whose wife is second generation Korean, she does not play video games. Nothing. Her and her family, they know of Faker. They know him by name because his popularity in Korea is the same as Michael Jordan in the States.
Of course,
Otani.
yeah.
So like
Sure.
any advertisement he does, anybody that plays against him consistently, they get that bump.
So
Yeah,
what
but
you're
I was
saying is
gonna
we're
say,
fucked after he's done.
Oh, 1,000%.
I've been saying that for a
yeah.
while.
But that
But I was gonna to that I say it's just like it's crazy to me that we couldn't do that with Bjergsen or like Double F and stuff because they were big, man. Like Bjergsen, like he was like apparently from what I heard, they used to stream and they used to stream just as big as Cadro and stuff. Like I think Bjergsen streamed once and he had like 50K viewers and
I
stuff. This guy was huge and
think
stuff.
Bjergsen on his Twitter or Twitch still has more followers than like Cadril.
Yes,
I remember somebody
exactly.
saying that recently.
Oh,
So
Yeah, it was
his
dumb.
Twitter,
It was
yeah,
dumb.
definitely.
It was dumb. It was dumb because it was dumb. But like I said though, it's just like it's insane to me that like you guys said that not a lot of content came out of that and stuff. And like I said, it's just like crazy that it feels alienated. So like towards like we can like even create like an idea aside from Sniper and stuff. We don't really have an idea of who the hell, for example, Isles is and stuff, or
I
like
don't
someone
want to
like
know who
that.
Isles is, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Aside
I
from
wasn't gonna
all I know,
say it.
no,
I will.
I am, but that's because I watch LCK and stuff, and I die hard watch LCS for the first time this year, and it was fun as hell. But it was because TL was pumping out content and stuff, APA being funny and stuff and everything. Watching the best of threes was so good for the sport and stuff. The shake that Sven did and everything was such a good context piece with Jan and everything. So it's just like I said, there's fans out there who are willing to watch this. There's people who like praise it and everything. So the fact that like I don't know, it's just like it feels so much wasted and stuff. But like I'm just repeating what David said at the end of the day. But like I said, it's just like we should just I don't know try to extend like more our hand with like advertisement on like co-streaming or something. I don't know. It's just crazy because there's people like Doms who I'm pretty sure he's not streaming under an org right now.
No, and he's too big at this point to go with an org. It's
Yeah,
Exactly.
the thing is
He left C9 because it was more convenient to not be on an org.
Well, that was with due to I think Twitch and ads.
Yeah, but
I
it was
remember at the
better for
beginning.
him to literally not be with an org. It wasn't like a
that's
Yeah.
the thing is like when you get so big, the incentive trade-off is just not there for you to go with orgs nowadays. They don't offer much. The reason why I'm bullish on like pushing for orgs for like smaller creators is because you can create that identity together. When you grow together, you basically tie that creator to you in a way. If their identity is known, like now, still to this day, we still think of Bjergsen as like TSM Bjergsen. Like even if he goes to other teams and does other things, like that reputation is like there, and that's not something that you can replicate elsewhere. It's like same thing for content creators. If you sign a creator and like stick with them and they're loyal to you all the way through,
Yeah,
that
but,
creates
like, I don't
value.
know. I mean, there's just the fact that like there's the fact that like for example, I feel like even what's his name, Jojo has been doing more for EU. He's been streaming a lot more from EU.
It's because Mad Lions cracked the belt.
Yeah, and stuff.
It's
And
called
like I
he's
think
changing the narrative.
Ibai probably Ibai used his Spanish English and told him, "You stream for me, I give you more money." And stuff. But it's like what you need to do because now all of EU fans love all Spanish fans love JoJo and stuff. I read the Twitter comments in Spanish. I understand them,
I would
and it's literally people saying like "Damn o JoJo" or like "Oh like JoJo Koi Pog" and stuff like in the comments and stuff. Like a multitude of waves of support, which is insane.
I would love to know if streaming was part of his contract or not. Whether this is
Yeah.
just like them saying like, "Hey, you're gonna fucking do this," or if this is a willpower like on his own, choosing to do it, like recognizing the moment.
But like he's streaming with and stuff, and El Yoya is coming ahead and saying like and coming into stream talking to JoJo, building the connection and stuff and everything. So we already have a level of familiarity with that duo. You understand? Like
I think
it's
there's
just
some of that to just be like he is on a brand new team in a brand new country, and he kind of has to do that to begin with.
And they don't know how much he fucking sucks.
There's got to be some amount of that that's like, I have to do all this shit anyway. I might as well just hit the go live button and do it live.
I mean, that should
Yeah,
have been
but, like,
that should be the
that
philosophy
should-
of everybody at
That
this
should
point.
be it for everyone. But my
Yeah.
point is that like JoJo has to do this amount of work because he's in a new country, like the rest of the entire team speaks Spanish, right?
Yeah.
He's on a new org, new league, and all that stuff. There's a lot of work that goes behind that, whether you want to
But,
like,
like, even-
recognize it or not. But
Even for players
Yeah.
like in like you look at like APA and crew, like Call of Duty is obviously not a perfect comparison, but it's a game that fucking pales in comparison in size to League of Legends. The personalities that are as big as they are right now for the esport alone, not saying the general game. General game, I understand because I saw Colin shake his head.
Well, I'm just thinking in North America because
It's- sure.
that's the important
Sure.
context of like.
Sure. But like reality is if you're a league creator, your audience is going to be international. Once you get to a certain point, like the Koreans will start watching you, the Europeans will start watching you. I can attest to that point. Jesus, I just dropped that. But like Scump got to where he is now, not only because he was good at the game and contending at a top level, but after every single day of scrims and of practice and of matches, what would he do? He would record a YouTube video and put it out. It was never the highest quality stuff, but there was always something there. And he would just talk to people or like talk to chat or like talk about something that's on his mind. Simple, easy, a way to connect with his fans and his audience because Hex drilled into him from the jump. If you want to be big, you got to put out content. And there's nobody in the LCS right now that is effectively getting through to players and saying, hey, I understand it's a lot, but part of what you should be allocating 10% of your contract for an editor that can do this for you. If you don't have the capacity to do it yourself, or like it's not hard to go in OBS and just record yourself playing a solo queue game and talking to people and like talking about what's on your mind and then just fucking go and then upload that shit. You have 3 videos a week and then people see you play on the Rift and all of a sudden you're growing a massive fucking personality like that.
I
was gonna
wonder.
say that's what Dirty is doing and stuff. I saw on my recommended that he's been releasing like a good bit of videos and stuff. Dirty.
I need to check
And,
this
like,
out if he has.
Yeah, he has and stuff. Like I saw it in my recommended, and it was a recent video. It was like a Jax 1v9 or something like that, and stuff. And like, it was low effort, I will admit, and stuff. But at the end of the day and stuff, like it was a lot of educational, like for top lane and everything. Like, oh, he was explaining a lot of the stuff he was doing and why he was doing it, and stuff. And if that's what his viewers like and stuff and everything, like, go ahead and stuff. But he is.
So I'm looking at this right now. Yes, he's uploading pretty consistently, which is good. 2 problems. 1, you got to have a face or you cannot just upload blanket gameplay. In my opinion for YouTube, like I don't even care if you're using a fucking VTuber AI thing, whatever you want to do. You got to have a face or something that people can latch onto. It makes it more personable, and that way when people go on stage, they're able to connect the dots of like, I've seen this guy's face around. Second, it looks like it's just straight up stream rips.
It
And,
is.
like,
That's why I said it's low effort.
Which is sure, that's fine. Pay an editor to chop this up a little bit, in my opinion, and talk. That's just me. I think like for YouTube content, that's going to be better. But at the end of the day, if it's working and he's growing, he's growing. We'll see how it goes in a year.
Of course. I mean, that's the only person who I've seen out of this like new signees and stuff. I've seen Jensen start streaming a lot more now that he's teamless, allegedly, and stuff. He's been streaming a lot more consistently because he doesn't have a team. And I'm like, it shouldn't take you being teamless to stream and stuff. Like,
I'm gonna go to bed. See you, boys.
See you, boy.
Paul. Oh, I should probably end the podcast here, by the way. It has been going the entire time, and I never technically ended it. So,
Not great.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know like this conversation might continue a little bit more offline. If you want to hop in the lounge chat and Discord, you're more than welcome to. I do want to add a quick thank you to everybody for the entire year of supporting both myself and Paul on this podcast. Any content that we've put out throughout the year. Thank you for what has been incredible growth. And I know next year is going to be just as fun for us. A lot of new challenges to come. Paul has to find a way to deal with the fact that Florida is better than UNC in every way, shape, or form right now, which is a blessing. All right. And I plan on rubbing
Georgia
that in
for the
his
win,
face.
bro. Georgia for the win, bro. Georgia for the win.
But here's the problem. If 100 Thieves
Oh.
goes away, then we've both lost 2 teams in our lifetime and we're both homeless. So 2025, I might get kicked off of TikTok, my team kicked from the league. We're going into the year hot. But y'all have a great night.